Hello, everyone. Welcome to Laser Focus. This is the deep dive pop culture podcast from Nerdist. I'm Kyle Anderson. Thank you for listening. Folks, this is another edition of Millennials Reminisce about things in the 90s, as happens quite a bit on this show. As an elder millennial, I am looking back fondly on the time when I was a child. I asked another millennial to join me to talk about these things. She is joining the Two Timers Club here on the show. You and I talked about Twin Peaks. Was that what we talked about? Yeah, which was several
Yeah.
months back.
Yeah, it was January because it was right after David Lynch passed.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's already been that long since he passed. That's
Yeah,
wild.
I know.
But yes, that voice is the voice of former Nerdist staff person, but now freelance writer, critic, and just all around Chicagoan. Is that a person? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Lindsey Romain, welcome back to the show, Lindsey.
Hello, thank you for having me. I
Of
am indeed a millennial, elder millennial Chicagoan, so that was a very accurate description.
I was looking through my Rolodex. So who's an elder millennial Chicagoan that I can get?
Yeah,
Um,
there's many of us actually.
but basically, what I wanted to talk about this week is I was kind of looking through, list of anniversaries and things like that. And 1995 just kept popping up. Obviously, it's the 30th anniversary of a bunch of movies and stuff. But then remembering I was 11 years old when in that year, and just how kind of formative that was for me. And yeah, it was Batman Forever, which I already talked a little bit about on the show. That was my movie. That was the movie I went to go see by
Yeah.
myself, and I collected all the McDonald's glasses, and like I
I
had
had those too.
yeah,
The like clear kind of mug things that they had. Yeah, I had those too.
yeah, that was, and like still I like that movie. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really like that movie still.
Same.
McFarlane last year just put out a 4-figure box set, or not box set, but a 4-figure series of
Mm.
Batman, Robin, Riddler, and Two-Face, and you bet your ass I have those.
Hell yeah. I almost went to, I didn't end up doing it, but they did a midnight screening of that recently here at the Music Box. Unfortunately, I'm like too old to do music
I can't
or
do
midnight screenings,
no.
but I really wanted to, and I did have tickets. And then
That
last minute, I was like, I'm tired.
I don't feel like this is something you and I talked about forever ago, but we need festivals especially stop putting all the cult and horror stuff at midnight. Like I know there's a history of
Yes.
that, but 7 o'clock works just as well. And I can watch a movie and then go to bed. And I hate staying up late now. I really don't like it.
I don't either. I don't mind staying up late if I'm at home,
Sure.
but I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
being
yeah.
out late.
No.
Yeah, like I'm starting to get I even went to, speaking of David Lynch, the Music Box again here, and I'm going to sound like such a Chicago in this episode. But I they did oh my gosh, I just fully lost my train of thought. What were we just saying?
You went to the Music Box because of David Lynch to see.
David Lynch. I'm sorry. So I went to the Music Box because of David Lynch. They did a whole retrospective, like, and they do that regularly here
Mm,
anyway, but I think they bumped it up because, of his
yeah.
passing. And I went to a screening of Wild at Heart, which is a movie I love and have seen many times and have seen in theaters at the Music Box. And it was like started at 9, and literally at like 9:45, I leaned over to my friend and I was like, I think I'm just gonna go home and finish watching this on Blu-ray. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
too tired. I'm too tired. I can't focus. So
It is a huge bummer that that's where I'm at now, but I'm just like, so like Beyond Fest here in LA, like I love their programming, but it's like I always have to just see the early movie because
yeah,
they program something at even 9:30. I'm like, I'm not seeing that. I'm not staying up.
no. Well, you have to factor in all the like commute home and
Yeah.
everything too. It's not just like being in the theater. It's
No.
like everything that comes next. That was what it was for me too. Is like I could technically probably stay here and feel fine, but then I have to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, we do sound old. So let's talk
Me
about things
too.
that were when we were kids.
Yes.
But anyway, we were talking before we started recording, but there was a phenomenon, and only kids who grew up in the 90s really will understand this. There was just a blank channel basically on everybody's cable that was like the AV channel. So like there was, for me it was channel 3. I think for a lot of people it was channel 3, but like that was the channel you had to have your TV on in order to watch a movie on the VCR, or switch to the Nintendo or something like that. Like you needed to have this weird channel that had nothing on it. But for me it was the pay-per-view preview channel. So like there were pay-per-view channels and they would just show the same movie over and over and over again. Um, but this was the just previews. And so I remember that summer just watching this cycle of trailers over and over, and the previous year too, but um all these ones are really seared into my memory. And we'll go through some of our like the ones that stand out to us, but like that was because we didn't go to that many movies, as a
Yeah.
kid. I went to Batman Forever, and maybe as we go through I'll see some other ones I actually went to in the theater, but most of the time it was just waiting for them to come to pay-per-view or go to Blockbuster and rent it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely same. And when I was looking through the list, it's funny, like I definitely saw a lot of the like kids movies because I was like 7 or whatever around this time. So I saw a lot of those, but it's funny, a lot of my like great movies that I love now came out in 95. I just wasn't, I wasn't a 7-year-old watching like the re-release of like Belle de Jour or like Party Girl, but like
Yeah.
those are things that I'm, interested in now. So
Yeah.
I think there will be some of that as we chat about these.
Absolutely. And there were a lot of movies that were like legendary sort of to kids, and then like eventually I went like the one that for some reason all these kids that I went to school with would talk about The Prophecy,
Okay.
which
That's when I saw on video. Like I
yeah.
remember the video to speak of things like the pay-per-view channel. Like a lot of my knowledge of movies came from the poster on the,
Mhm.
VHS cover, and that is one I distinctly remember because I was like, what the hell is this? But
Yeah. You know what
you
one always
having
stood out to me? It's not from this year, but Warlock. Do you remember seeing
Yeah.
the
Yes,
box
I
for
do.
Warlock with Julian Sands and like a devil behind him or something like that?
Yes. Any of the ones, there's that other one that's just called Demons. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think it's just called Demons. It's another box that has like, I mean, as the title might lead you to believe, demons on it, but it was like scary faces and stuff. If those were on a VHS cover, it would really like stick in my
Is it
brain.
the
So,
Italian movie Demons
now I'm gonna have to Google this and see.
by Lamberto Bava?
I feel like probably not. I feel like it was more like a VHS, like perhaps like low budget movie. Yeah, no, it
Oh, there,
wasn't that
was
one.
it Night of the Demons?
It was Night of the Demons. Yes, I
Because there
just
was like
saw
the
that.
girl in the dress with the demon face. Yes.
Yes, there's like her face looks almost kind of like Exorcist,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yes, it's called Night of the Demons. The reason I thought it was just called Demons is because if you look at that, and if people listening Google it, Demons is in like large font. The rest of it's not. So I think that's why. I thought that's what it was called.
Yeah. Pretty fun movie. I don't know if you've ever seen Night of the
I
Demons.
have seen it. I did end up renting it. I don't. It has not stuck in my mind. I think if I remember correctly, like the movie did not quite live up to the fear that the
No,
cover instilled in me. But yeah,
not
that's
even close.
how a lot of like movies I recall, even if I haven't seen them, because of yes, seeing covers at the local video store.
Yeah. That was such an interesting time just in general because like that was the heyday of the video store. And
Hmm.
there was, it was doing so well that was way before Blockbuster had to do like you can keep them forever now. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that use
yeah,
which after Netflix started back when you had to rent, like get them in the mail from Netflix and you could just keep them forever.
yeah.
Um, Blockbuster was like, oh crap, I guess we got to do away with late fees.
Yeah, I didn't have a Blockbuster. I grew up in a really small town, so we just had a local video store
Mm,
called Real Video, which was, I mean, kind of the same thing as a Blockbuster, just not branded the same. But it was funny because my town was so small and it wasn't really like a cultural hotspot and people didn't know anything about entertainment. So whoever like ordered movies for this video store like clearly had no idea what they were doing. So it was a lot of like weird straight to DVD like, movies, or there was a lot of horror movies, but like for some reason people must have stolen like the first, like, like we didn't have the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre at our like video store, but we had all the sequels. Like it was like that where I think maybe they just bought up the franchises and people stole the popular ones and they just didn't replace them. So I've seen so many, like my movie education for a long time was crap like that, and I had to fill in the blanks with like good stuff later on. Um, and so, but I think a lot of movies that I watched were also like they had a lot of 90s, 80s stuff. So like, you know, New releases and stuff, not so great. But these movies, as I was reading through the list, I was like, I've seen all of these like 100 times because of the video store.
It's so weird going through this list. I was like, well, there's got to be some that I don't like remember that well. And there's like a couple, but like so many of these are like, oh, these movies now I love.
Yes.
Uh I guess was just started January. I don't know. Like we don't actually
Yeah,
have to talk about all of these movies, but if any of them like stand out to you,
for sure.
um let's see. Well, the first one that stands out to me is Far From Home: The Adventures of Yellow Dog, which was a
Literally.
January release.
I remember that so distinctly. The fact that the dog's name is Yellow Dog, and then you want to know the sad reason that I've seen this a million times is because I had a big crush on Jesse Bradford,
Sure,
the lead actor
of course.
from Bring It On. Like that's what really made me into him. And I had seen this movie before, but I forgot it was him. So once I was into Bring It On, I went back and watched the fucking dog movie.
That's very funny because he's a
Yeah.
child in that.
Yeah, but I was a child,
Oh,
so it's
okay. I
fine.
guess that's okay.
Because Bring It On was 99, I think, and I would have seen that. So I was probably
Yeah,
like 11
that's
or
not that far,
something.
I guess. Yeah,
No, no.
yeah. You were 7 or 8. Is that
Yeah,
what you said? Yeah. So
yeah,
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 that's fine.
yeah.
You're not creepy. There, I've said
I
it.
mean, I think he's like 10 years older than me. So it's,
Sure,
if
that's also
anyone,
true.
if anything, he's creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Creep.
I
What a
mean,
creep Jesse Bradford
he knows I exist, right?
is. um, Tales from the Crypt Presents Demon Knight, I think, is a super underrated horror movie. I think it is one of
Yes.
the best of the era. I
It is so good. And in fact, before this chat, again, how many times will I bring up the music box? But they announced their like October kind of movies, and you had asked me like which ones was I excited about. I forgot this is one of the ones that they're going to be playing, and I'm very excited about that too because I agree. I think it's fucking awesome.
it is very not Tales from the Crypty. Like obviously there's the
Yeah.
opening and closing. The movie itself is not very Tales from the Crypty, but it kind of doesn't matter because it's like such a fun, Billy Zane is going lights out in that movie.
Yes.
William Sadler as the good guy, I think, is awesome, and Jada Pinkett, very early Jada Pinkett.
Very early. Thomas
Uh,
Hayden Church is in that movie.
yeah, and Ernest Dickerson was the director, who is also really good and shot some
I
of the best movies ever. Did he win an Academy Award for? Maybe he didn't
I
for
don't
Do the
know.
Right Thing. I thought maybe he did, but I don't
Didn't
know,
do the
man.
right thing. Like not. I mean, I know it famously like didn't get Best
Well,
Picture
yeah, that's true.
nomination, but I don't remember if that trickled into the like the other categories.
Right. But he also shot Malcolm X, which is incredible looking too.
Gorgeous movie.
Anyway, yeah, that's a great movie. And there were some of these like I'll just Murder in the First. I remember seeing the trailer for. I've never seen that movie, but I remember seeing the trailer for a lot.
I'm not familiar
Um,
with that one. I mean, the next one that comes up that if anyone knows me, it was Before Sunrise, which is like my number one. So my number one series. The second one's technically my favorite, but I mean, foundational movie for me. So that being a 95 movie, you know,
that
important.
and like Ethan Hawke has transcended, but like he was the '90s kind of alt
Totally.
dude for
Totally. I was
because of
just talking about Reality Bites with a colleague yesterday, and uh, yeah, he was just kind of like the big crush of, of the 90s, but kind of the like smart. I'm trying to think if there's like an equivalent of that today. Like, someone who's like clearly intelligent and kind of a bad boy and like maybe a little smarmy, but ultimately like, you know, still a good guy. I don't know. Love him.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I don't know. I think they don't really have. Well, I don't watch a ton of like young people movies. I guess I don't watch a lot of like Gen Z aimed movies. So maybe there is somebody like that nowadays. But
True.
um, I know that's coming. That comes as a shock, of course, that I don't watch those. But um, I remember seeing the trailer a million times for Highlander: The Final Dimension, a movie that is very bad.
I've
All of
never
the
seen
Highlander
it.
movies are not good, except for the first one's fine. The first one's
I like
fine.
the first one. I've only seen the first one and I
The
like
second one
it.
is infamously terrible, and then this one is pretty bad too. But
Yeah.
um,
Haven't seen it.
one of your favorite movies, we were just talking about, In the Mouth of Madness,
I
which is
know
one of
that
my
was
favorite movies too.
the other
This
one
was
we
a
talked about.
great. John Carpenter had two movies this year,
Yeah,
both within
which
a couple
is
months of each other. Which we'll get to the other one, which is less good. But
yes, less good, but still, I know he was cranking them out, and like I think didn't we talk about? I can't remember if this was you and I who talked about this, but how In the Mouth of Madness was kind of like maybe his last really like
Yeah,
hell
no,
yeah good one. Yeah.
yeah, because
Um,
well, within the last probably 10 years, I guess at this point, I rewatched Vampires because I remember really liking that when I was
yes.
in high school or college or whatever. And boy, did I not think that held up. Like, it is
No.
a supremely misogynistic movie. That- like,
Lots of them from around that time are, which like
it's
even the ones you wouldn't necessarily expect because their creators, are capable of not making
right.
misogynistic stuff. But yeah.
Well, so much of the movie is, and it also doesn't help that the two actors I'm about to name are like not good guys, like, and we know this to be
Uh,
true. But most of that movie is James Woods and Daniel Baldwin punching Cheryl Lee in the face.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
cool, cool. I'm glad
yeah,
that's a movie.
yeah. I've seen it once, and you
They're
know,
good. That's not one you need to watch again.
yeah.
Um, Billy Madison. I am not an Adam Sandler guy. I'm on the record as saying I'm not an Adam Sandler guy. I have
I'm really
not.
not either. I think like he seems like a cool guy. I like some of his movies, but he wasn't like a foundational like comedy guy for me. No.
Well, I just never really liked that kind of, and I think a lot of that comes from like my mom really didn't like that kind of comedy, so we just didn't watch those kind of things. But
Yeah.
um, I know everybody liked, like Tommy Boy and stuff like that at the same time around there too. But like that kind of, what did they call those? Like early frat boy kind of type stuff, I
Yeah.
guess is what they
The
called it,
kind of
or
like man child like
man child. Yeah, that's right.
humor. Yeah, it was never really
Literally,
my
in the case of Billy Madison, man
yeah,
child.
literally man child. Yeah, it was never really my thing either. Maybe if I had been like a little boy or something, I don't know. You know, you were and it didn't reach you either, so I guess
No,
maybe we're just built different, Kyle.
I guess we are. I also didn't really watch comedies unless it was Jim Carrey. I didn't really watch comedies that much.
Same. And I still don't actually. Like I'm not a big comedy person. I love a good comedy if it strikes me, but it's not like a genre that I am seeking out all the time or that I'm like know a lot about.
There's also like there's fun to be had in a bad horror movie or a bad, action movie or something like that. A bad comedy is the worst. There is nothing worse than
Totally.
bad comedy.
That is, I think you nailed exactly why I struggle with it because if it's not hitting for me, it's almost insufferable for me to sit through like 10 minutes of it. I'm this way with comedy in general though, like I can't go to stand up or improv and
Mm.
stuff. Like if it's good, then I love that, but most of the time it's not and I don't have the like wherewithal to just kind of like be there sitting through shit that makes me uncomfortable. So
Yeah. Yeah.
unless
Uh,
it's like a sadistic horror movie, but that's a different kind of discomfort. So
that's true.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, we are not fun people, I guess is what we're trying to say.
No.
Oh well. The Quick and the Dead is maybe Sam Raimi's like most underrated movie, maybe because I actually think it's good.
Yes. I
But
love this movie, and
yeah,
this is one of the ones that I rented a million times. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and if
sure.
you were my age in the 90s, then that was a big deal. So I
Prime
think
teen heartthrob age, Leo.
yes, and I think a lot of us probably went back and watched this after Titanic, and that was the case for me. But I
Mm-hmm.
did end up renting it, and then I liked it independent of that. That's another thing. Not to get off on a tangent, but another thing I wonder if people do now, like we're talking about the pay per view and the video stuff. Something that was really like foundational for my movie education as a kid was that I would watch movies if it like had an actor in it that I had like a crush on or
Oh
liked
yeah,
or something. I would go back and watch their whole like filmography and that would like introduce me to like legitimately good film. Like sometimes I'm genuinely like I think I'm a cinephile because I had a huge massive crush on Viggo Mortensen like in the Lord of the Rings movies and went back
sure.
and watched his filmography and he's got some bangers in there and some weird shit and like my taste kind of like correlates a lot with with his filmography. I'm like, do kids still do that? Do they like,
I don't.
you know?
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. I know very little about what kids do.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess same. I just like wonder if now that you have access to everything, if it's just kind of like you almost don't care. Like I had to seek a lot of that out, and that was part of
yeah,
it.
that is part of the
So
fun of like.
yeah,
There's the collector's aspect of it. Like, oh, I need to check this one off my list, and I still do that. Like, if
yeah,
there's, I'll start watching films by a particular director, and it's like, well, there's, and especially on Letterboxd, you can see the ones you haven't watched.
yeah,
So it's like, well, got to check these ones off. I did
yes,
that with
exactly.
Jean Roland last year, and I'm like
Mm,
pretty happy
yeah,
about that.
I love it. I do that with
Yeah,
Letterboxd too. I'll like click on someone's name and be like, I vibe with this person. Let me watch everything else that I can find on here. So I
yeah,
guess it's still the sense of discovery exists, but it sounds like, again, just for old people like us who already
I
do
guess.
that.
Yeah. Young people, please call in one eight
Yeah.
hundred old. I don't know. The next one listed is it weirdly that it's listed as an American film. It's not American at all. It's British through and through, but it's Danny Boyle's debut film, Shallow Grave, which I didn't see until I was in college. Do you remember? And this is something I'm sure I've talked about on the show before, but in the early 2000s, perhaps, or maybe mid 2000s, Bravo had a 5-part scariest movie moments thing,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
counting down the 100 scariest. And I taped that thing. I watched it so many times. And when I first got a Netflix account, I went through and was like, I need to see this. I need to see that. The aforementioned Lamberto Bava's Demons was like one of the first ones I got. The Wicker Man was one of the first ones I got. And Shallow Grave was one of those that I'm like, I got to see this movie. This looks crazy. And it is still really good. I think it's a very upsetting movie.
I'm just like nodding along as you're saying that because I literally did the exact same thing with that exact same special, and I know I've talked to other film writers and stuff who have said the same thing about that particular thing. Same with like I love the 90s and 80s, like
Oh
the
yeah, for
VH1
sure.
stuff. Like that's a similar thing where we would watch that, it would like ignite something and then you like make a list for yourself. But I sometimes when that special first came out, I was afraid to watch the special because wasn't it
Mm,
like the scariest movie moments or
yeah.
something? It was always like technically about a movie, but then they'd pick like the scariest scene from
And
it.
they would show almost an
They
uncut
would
version of
show
that
it.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember some of them really freaked me out, but then I was like, okay, well now I obviously have to see it. That's how I learned about a lot of like Vincent Price movies and stuff was
Oh
from
yeah.
that
And they
special.
did a really
So
good job on that thing of like new movies,
yeah,
old movies. Like that
foreign stuff. Yeah,
was it the first time I ever heard about Audition? It might have been.
it it was for me 100%, and that's a good example of one that like the clip they played the like not to spoil audition, but like the guy in the like
The guy in
bag
the
like
bag, yeah.
that was the like what they played on that
Yeah.
special, which is kind of fucked. So
Yeah.
yes,
Um, it, s- you can tell that that was so formative because um, with I think 4 or 5 years ago, Shudder made a new
a
version of it. It's
version.
basically the exact same thing, but with updated movies. And
Hmm.
I know that there are people who are like that special is the reason I got into horror or something like that. Like it truly.
Totally.
And there was like a mix of people, actors and stuff like that, but also like other filmmakers and critics talking about it. That's how I learned
Yeah.
like who Maitland McDonough and Mark Kermode who are two of my favorite
Uh-huh.
horror writers. And Kim Newman also is like somebody I
Yep.
really enjoy. And it's like those were all people these British or Canadian writers who I had no idea who they were, who I now think are really great. Um, yeah, it was all because of that thing. We're not talking about that overall, but I think that is
I
proof positive that like it's that kind of stuff that really seeps into our brains, I guess.
yeah, well it's really like representative of the era kind of that we're talking about too, even though that came out a little bit later. I just by the way, I just searched this on YouTube and there's a 3 hour and 45 minute like the whole compilation
Oh,
of that is on YouTube. So
nice.
that's probably what I'm going to put on as background noise later today.
Now, yeah, I kind of want to go through and see how many of those, if there are any that I haven't seen,
Yeah,
if
that
there's
could
that
be
I
a
still
good
haven't seen.
new list for yourself. Like maybe that's
Yeah,
a October project.
I know. The October Project, we'll call it. Um,
The next movie on this list is such a hilarious like change of pace, but this is a comedy that I do love, which is the Brady Bunch movie. I like the parody movies, and in the 90s they were really great at
yeah,
parroting stuff in a way that was genuinely funny and genuinely like making fun of the thing. Like I feel like now if they made a Brady Bunch movie it would be perhaps a little more like nostalgic for the Brady Bunch, but in the 90s they were just mocking those weird people and it was great.
yeah. Well, that was such like these are Gen Xers making these movies, and
Yeah.
they grew up watching these old sitcoms because they also did Beverly Hillbillies and they did I'm trying to remember My
Yep.
Favorite Martian. Like they did these weird movies, or
Yeah.
based on TV shows that are not good. Like,
No.
but they were like ubiquitous. Like I know
Yes.
somebody who is my age whose favorite show unironically is Gilligan's Island.
Oh my god.
What? You
I've
know that's
seen
not a good show.
I have seen every episode of that show because of like Nick at Night.
Sure,
But
of course.
also, when I was in my 20s, I worked for a few years for a classic television network, MeTV, which is like a broadcast version, basically, of, or like a antenna based version of like a TV land. And so I've also seen so many of those like vintage shows, like front to back. And Brady Bunch was one of them as well that I
Mhm.
have seen. It is also bad. It's also kind of for kids though, so it's like, you know, or like younger people, so it's hard to be too judgmental of it. But I loved the movie so much, and it's how I learned about. Speaking of like introductions to people, it's how I like first saw Gene Smart, and RuPaul is in the Brady Bunch movie.
Yeah.
My first introduction to RuPaul, so like that was another one kind of stuffed full. Also, all of the surviving cast members of the Brady Bunch have like cameos in it, so that's kind of fun.
I think I
It's
knew
great.
I knew Christine Taylor because she played Marcia in that, but she was on Hey Dude. And so
Yes,
that's how I was
which we
like, "Oh wow,
love.
it's she's doing something else." Like one of the few Nickelodeon people who actually went on to do something else.
This is
Uh,
making me realize just how, because I've like, when you keep referencing stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that's also how I knew her. Like culture was so different
I
then.
know.
Like we just like kind of had the same touch points.
We did, Lindsay and I, but I guess I grew up in Colorado and you grew up in Chicago, which is like mileage
Michigan
wise not
from
that far from each other, but like it
yeah.
feels like very different, and yet we had basically the same upbringing in terms of media, which is very funny.
I technically
Um,
I grew up in Michigan actually,
oh, you grew up
small
in Michigan?
Michigan.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. But
I
I
knew it was
some
Midwest somewhere.
same. Yeah, you're.
Yeah,
It's pretty close, but
it's all the same.
I'm
I'm
only
kidding. I'm sorry.
distinguishing that because if I had grown up in a big city, maybe I'd be a little different. But
Yeah, maybe that's
grew
true. I
up,
don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, we obviously can't talk about every single movie.
I
Let's
know.
see. My
There's so
dad,
many
but
big ones.
I know. So the movie Hideaway, which I think I've seen maybe once, it's not a good movie, but my dad had that on VHS, and I remember seeing being like, "Ooh, it's a scary movie," and it's got Jeff Goldblum in it when he was like at his peak. Not only am I like cool Jeff Goldblum, but I'm like a sexy dude.
Hell yeah.
He was really playing that up. I think post The Fly into like the mid '90s, like maybe because
Yes.
this was after Jurassic Park, right? Yeah. So
Yes. And Jurassic Park was like basically exists for him to just like lay around and be hot. Like he
yeah,
doesn't really have a reason to be in that movie otherwise.
no,
And yeah, and he milks it and he does a great job of milking it.
yeah. Man of the House. There was a lot of these Disney movies, so I kind of like glossed over like Heavyweights earlier, but like,
Yeah. Those were the
but
ones I was seeing. Like I saw Heavyweights and Man of the House in theaters for sure.
and they came out with only a few weeks removed, which is
Mhm.
wild. I
I
would
know.
like there were all these big movies that came out the same weekend. Nobody does that anymore.
I
It's like
know.
it's one movie
Yeah.
per weekend basically, with
I know. And
maybe,
it's
an offshoot movie that they don't think is going to do very well, but they'll put it out anyway. But like
I know,
the
totally. It's strange.
the fact that the Brady Bunch movie and Heavyweights came out on the same day along
Yes.
with the Prestige movie Just Cause, which I don't think did very well, but I remember seeing a ton about that. It's so wild to me that all of this happened.
It does
They
make me
used,
wonder though, like, because I'm sure at the time people weren't maybe thinking like Heavyweights and the Brady Bunch movie will be like classics and like for younger people,
yeah,
you know? So I wonder if we'll look back on like, you know, 2025 someday and be like, I can't believe they released these two movies the same day. But I don't think so because now they eventize movies in a different way. So
yeah.
yeah,
And basically, like studios like stake their claim on we're doing this
yeah,
day, and you cannot put out a movie on this day. I
totally.
mean, that's why Barbenheimer was such a big deal because like that never happens. These two
I
big
know.
movies people want to see.
I'm
Eh,
glad that they haven't, again, sorry to tangent, but I am glad that I was worried that they were going to try to start doing that, like with things after Barbenheimer, like they were going to try to stack up these different movies and recreate that. And I'm kind of glad that that didn't happen because that would also have made that event less interesting
Yeah,
for
it
just
was the
replicating
organic
it.
nature of like
Exactly.
they are counter programming to each other, and yet they are
Yeah.
both movies that people like we wanted to go see because
Yeah.
of filmmakers and stuff. It was such an interesting time. Did you do the
Yeah.
Barbenheimer thing? I
I
didn't. I
did.
saw them on 2 different days.
I did. Well, I saw Barbie early for like a screening, so I had
Yeah.
seen it, but I was like, I gotta do it. I was like, I have to
Mm,
do Barbenheimer, so I did do it by myself. I didn't go with anybody. I
look
went
at
to
you.
the Alamo Draft House here, And
Is it true that sisters be doing it for themselves?
it certainly is in my house.
Okay.
I go to the movies by myself all the
I
time.
do it. Yeah.
I think it's
It's
weird when people have like a complex about that. I'm like, it's
yeah.
actually kind of awesome because then you can, I don't know, you can
Some of my
tailor
favorite
it.
movie going experiences were just like, I have an afternoon free. Let me go to a movie. Like, I
Same.
remember seeing Collateral that way. Like when I was in college, I was just like, I want to go see this movie. And I was literally the only person in the theater. And it was just like,
Hell
I was
yeah.
at the edge of my seat. I was like, this movie rules.
That's a good one to watch alone. My version of that, like that I went to by myself, was when I first moved to Chicago for college. The first movie I went and saw by myself was Inglorious Bastards, which
Incredible.
was like by myself, but it was a full theater and everyone was hooting and hollering. And it
Sure.
was my first like, ooh, I'm in a city watching a movie with people. Great experience. And if I hadn't gone by myself, I wouldn't have done it. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Those are real good times. What are some other good ones here in the early spring? Got like Muriel's Wedding, which is a good movie. Outbreak became a huge pandemic movie, which is very
yes,
funny. I don't even think
yeah,
it's a good movie, is it? Wolfgang
no.
Peterson? It's not good, right?
Well,
Okay.
I've only seen it. I didn't rewatch it during pandemic era. I saw it on TV like a million years ago. So
Sure.
maybe it's fine, but it didn't stick for me.
Yeah. I just remember the monkey being in it. Like
Yes, I do remember that.
the
I used
capuchin
to be
monkey.
I used to this was a big era for capuchin monkeys too. Like remember
Hmm.
Monkey Trouble and I don't know.
And well, Friends, the one from Friends,
Friends. Yeah,
Ace
yes.
Ventura When Nature Calls, which I
Ace
think comes up later
Ventura.
in this list, but
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, wild. Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, not a good follow-up, unfortunately.
Mm-mm.
Very bad.
Nope.
What else we got? What else we got? Dolores Claiborne,
Yes.
underrated, I think.
Underrated movie and book. I think that's one of my favorites of his
Yeah.
actually, and highly recommend for those who
It's
have not.
I think it's the movie suffered from because it was written by Tony Gilroy of all
Yep.
former guest of this program, Tony Gilroy.
Hell
That's
yeah.
true. Um,
Okay.
Directed by Taylor Hackford and starring Kathy Bates and Jennifer Jason Leigh, just absolutely playing lights out stuff. I remember seeing this trailer a ton and being
Yes.
creeped out by it.
Yes.
Um, but it had the unfortunate problem of not being Misery, and everybody loved Misery. And I actually don't think Misery
Yep.
is as good as people think it is.
I don't either. I like the book. I think the movie's a little bit silly. I don't know. It doesn't
I think it is
quite.
too, and also like
Yeah.
the hobbling sequence could be excised and nothing in the movie changes. Like nothing
Yep.
about James Caan's plight changes at all when he gets his feet broken.
Yep. I
And it's like,
agree.
then what's the point of that scene?
Yeah. It's a little weird. It's like a more stagnant movie than I think.
Yeah.
I rewatched it last year for the first time in a long time, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, this one isn't." And in fact, I was also kind of bored watching. I was a
Yeah,
little bit
it's
like,
kind of boring. Yeah, I agree
yeah,
with that. I think
yeah,
the
um,
concept in the book is a lot better.
yes,
As
I
with
agree.
most Stephen King adaptations, until Frank Darabont took over and now Mike Flanagan, like they just
Yes.
didn't translate to movies that well.
Well, something like Misery too, or like a lot of those ones are more internal, like
Yeah.
it's like more kind of character based. It's not a lot of like active plot, so
Hmm.
it's doesn't work as well as a movie unless you're someone like Mike Flanagan who can make like, oh my gosh, what's the one where she's tied? Why am I forgetting her
Oh,
name?
Gerald's Game.
Gerald's Game, yes, which should also be a boring movie, but is not because he
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. The next movie on this list I want to call attention to is Exotica, which is
Okay.
also and that's a Lindsay classic.
I have not seen that one. I
Strange
remember it coming
movie.
out, but I've not seen it.
It's a good one. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a good one, but it's a good one to me. So,
Yeah.
uh,
That was an early Adam McGoyan movie, right?
yes, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was when like Mia Kirshner was still like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun movie.
Um, I remember a lot of kids. Again, I'm not a big comedy guy. A lot of people liked Major Payne at that age.
Yeah.
The one thing about it that I liked is that he kept calling a kid ass eyes, and I just think that's
Uh
funny.
huh. I That's another one I remember like the outline of, but I don't remember the movie itself.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Tank Girl. Okay, so Tank Girl, with the
Yeah.
aforementioned Tommy Boy did come out, and who gives a shit? Same. Bonnie Turner and Terry Turner wrote that one too, and they also wrote the Brady Bunch movie.
Okay.
Big year for the Turners. Wow.
Yeah.
They
Good
also
job,
created Third
Turners.
Rock from the Sun,
Yep.
which I think
Isn't
came
one of
out.
Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm confusing that with Party of Five. I was going to say, aren't those the ones who are related to Timothy Chalamet? But that's the
Oh.
creator of Party of Five. Fun fact for anybody.
um, Tank Girl really did not do well. And it's a real shame. And Rachel
Yeah.
Talalay is a very, very, very good director. She directed some of the best recent episodes of Doctor Who, but also just a ton of episodes of things in general. She directed everyone's least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and also Tank Girl. Tank Girl is
rocks.
Tank Girl is in the like the Johnny Mnemonic mode where it's like
Yes.
it's kind of like post-apocalypse, kind of cyberpunk, and you have to just be part of that vibe. And if you're not in the vibe, then you're not going to get
It's
it.
kind
I
of got
think.
like Fury Road energy in that
Yeah,
way
for
too,
sure.
a little bit. Like the colors and the kind of steampunky-esque, like, I don't know. Yeah.
And I think it was the first time I ever saw Naomi Watts, I want to say.
I would say so too. I also like love Lori Petty, so
Yeah.
forever.
And move on to the I don't know, the beginning of the Michael Bay regime, I guess, started with Bad Boys.
Yes.
Which was another, like, all the cool kids got to go see Bad Boys for some reason. And then I saw it much later and was like, kids got to go see this movie? Like, this is the most violent movie I've ever seen.
The kids were different back then. I saw Jurassic Park when I would have been like 5. So like, and that was just normal. Like all the kids my age were seeing it, which I watch that movie now and I'm like, this is fucking scary. And also like just very adult in a lot of ways, like in ways that I guess they're not like aggressively like this is bad for kids, but you know, I don't really think the like sexual energy of Jeff Goldblum and like Laura Dern was quite translating for me at that age.
But there was the 90s was a period when blockbuster movies did not have to be big action movies or big sci-fi movies or anything like that. They could just be big star-studded movies or dramas and things like that. And even when they were kind of genre movies, most of the time they were not dumbed down in any way. Or like lowest common denominator because they have to like reach, check all the quadrant boxes and stuff. Like that, the first Jurassic Park is a big spectacle movie. It is really scary, but it is also about themes of like, the best scene in the movie is when they're all around the dining table and talking about the ethics of doing this. Like, it has nothing at all to do with somebody getting chomped.
Totally. The ethics, the like capitalistic aspect of it.
Yeah.
All of that. Billionaire greed. It's all in there. Watch Jurassic Park, everybody. And read the book. I just reread the book recently, and the book fucking rules. It is really scary. It's like way scarier than the movie.
So, oh yeah. Well, that was I think, and you can go and watch the full Jurassic Park timeline on Nerdist.com's YouTube channel.
By Adam, right?
By Adam, yeah. But Joe Dante was in the running to direct it initially,
right?
And that would have been a much different movie.
It was like they had different guys from each studio, right? It was Joe Dante, and then I forget who was associated with each studio, but there was like a bidding for each of them. And one was also, it was Joe Dante, it was Tim Burton, and it was Richard Donner, I think was the other one, maybe. And
I think that's right.
Each one of those movies is really interesting to think about, but I think they made the right choice. But Joe Dante probably would have been my runner-up of that crew, because that would have been a grislier movie, I think.
What I think is really funny is that during the bidding war, somebody flagged to Roger Corman that was happening, and so then he quickly bought the rights to the book Carnosaur and made it to come out like a month or two before Jurassic Park came out, which is I know he's truly snaps all around for him, but that movie is schlock and gore, and like I have respect for that movie because they're like, we just need to make a dinosaur looking thing. Like, it looks so fake, but it is the bloodiest movie you've ever seen.
I've never seen it. I need to add it to my.
Well, guess what? There's 3 of them. They're all on YouTube. You can watch for free.
Hell yeah. I'm going through a current project where I'm watching all of the Beethoven movies.
I saw you post about the 3rd or 4th one or whatever it was.
The 3rd one I watched last night. Insane fucking movie, by the way. Like, the lore of the Beethoven movies, I'm going to have to write about them because they're really funny. Literally, the plot of Beethoven 3, like the reason they replaced the family is because the family from the original one is trapped in Slovakia on a bad business deal for a year. So they send Beethoven in a crate to Judge Reinhold's family, who is like their cousin children or something, or they're the brother or something. Like that is the plot of that movie. So and that's just the third one. At some point, Beethoven becomes a pirate. So like I'm seeing this through. Like there's a movie where he is a pirate. So I'm working up towards that. But
Okay.
anyway, I like a good stupid series sometimes. So you know,
Who
if
doesn't
any
like
other,
a good stupid series? I think those are fun.
it's just kind
Um,
of a fun stupid thing to do every now and then. You
yeah.
know?
Speaking of fun, stupid things, a Goofy movie I think was pretty
Yes.
formative for a lot of people. Um, I was just annoyed that it wasn't the same voice of Max from Goof Troop.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
takeaway is that it wasn't the same voice.
Goofy movie was huge for
It was
like
huge. It was
people our
huge.
age at the time. Yes. My and this will be like where I was becoming who I am. My swerve was that I didn't like animated Disney movies when I was a kid, like at all. So, but with a few exceptions. So I didn't give a shit about Goofy movie. I didn't care. Like I always thought I was like I wanted to be a grown up when I was a kid so bad that
Sure.
I didn't. I liked some of these kids movies and I liked live action ones, but I was kind of a snob about the animated ones. So like a lot of the like totemic like Disney movies from this era were not really like important to me. Besides like I loved like Little Mermaid, Lion King, like some of the big ones, you know.
Yeah.
But but that's just me being a, you know, a snob. So it started young.
um, two Pauly Shore movies in the same day though, because he's in a Goofy movie. He does a voice, The Leaning Tower of Cheese. Oh, I guess it's a week apart. And then he was, of course, Jury Duty, which is a Pauly
Yep.
Shore vehicle.
I was a
Um,
Pauly Shore kid. Like I like Encino Man was one of my favorite movies. So
sure.
I wasn't watching Goofy movie, but I was on the Pauly Shore train.
That was his time. It was the 90s
Yep,
for sure.
it certainly was.
Um, one of the maybe the worst, second worst SNL movie, Stuart Saves His Family,
Uh-huh. I've never seen
um,
that, but I'm aware of it.
is very bad. Most of them were bad until
Yes.
like between Blues Brothers and I don't even know what, Night at the
I
Roxbury,
liked
maybe.
I was gonna say Night at the Roxbury I liked when I was younger. Like it's funny, I was talking about not being super into comedy, but some of the comedy movies I like are really stupid and bad. So like, you know,
Yeah.
and that's one of them.
Your boy DiCaprio, of course, in The Basketball Diaries. I've never seen The Basketball Diaries. I
It's good, at least from my memory, and that was another one I watched a million times because that's one where he was like really hot, you know, at the time. So
Sure.
I should probably make sure how old was he? Let me see. I think
I
he
think
was
he
in
was
his
plenty
20s.
old. He was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's not weird to say. Okay.
Eh,
Also, I was like 10 when I first
there you
watched
go.
that, so
You
we're good.
you were 10 when you watched The Basketball Diaries?
I
Oh
was
no.
Here's another thing about me. Again, I told you snob. When I was 8 years old, I have an aunt who tells me this story all the time. She was like, she knew I liked movies, and when I was 8, she asked me what my favorite movie was, and I said Good Will Hunting. So when I was 8, so that's where I was operating. But I think that was like I watched movies like with my grandma a lot when I was growing up, and she would let me watch stuff. Like I feel like that was a little more like real then, but now I have like nieces and nephews and like they're afraid of like my one nephew's 7 and he's too afraid to watch like Kung Fu Panda, and I'm like the kids these days are like I don't know, we were watching some real shit back then.
We were, and I think a lot of that is due to kids' cartoons were scary back in the day, and
Yes.
we just were. That was our shows, and we watched
Yep.
scary stuff. And I don't think that happens anymore. Everyone's so worried
No.
about scaring or disturbing children, but it's like I feel like that hardened me to life.
Yeah,
So, like, I
same.
think that needed to happen because nobody
Yeah.
knows how to deal nowadays. Nobody
No, I
does. These
know.
kids, man, I
These
really.
kids, oh, we've turned into boomers,
I'm
unfortunately.
no, I don't want to be a boomer.
No, we're not boomers. We're just like the new version of, you know, the old people. So it's fine.
Yeah. Now everything sucks.
Yeah.
What else we got? I remember my mom being, or not my mom, but just women my mom's age being really into While You Were Sleeping.
While You're Sleeping. That's a rom-com classic, also set in Chicago. So we love it.
True. I
Yep.
did see that one. I think I'm pretty sure I saw that one on TV. And then even back
Yeah.
then I was like is this good? Is this like,
Yeah.
is what she, not the movie good, is what she's doing
Is it
good?
ethical?
I don't
No,
think it
not
is.
really.
Yeah.
No, but we kind of just didn't care about that stuff as much
No.
back then either. And I try to turn that part of my brain off even now when I watch some of those, because otherwise, that's a good movie.
I also remember that I don't know the name of the actress, but she played like the nurse or something like that. I remember in the trailer her saying fiance in a weird way.
Okay.
She's
I
his
don't remember.
fiance. It's like, that's not the way people say that word.
That's another relic of like the times when you remember things from the trailer
Oh
more than
yeah.
the movie,
Well, I
because it's on like
meant to mention
VHS.
during the Brady Bunch, when you were talking about the Brady Bunch movie, but just like last night or 2 nights ago, I uh I forget the reason for it, but I made a George Glass reference,
Hell yeah.
and Stephanie, my wife, knew what I was talking about, and
I
she
love
laughed, and it
it.
was just
Do
like,
you want
"Yep,
to? I have a funny related to that. So when I
please."
worked for that classic television network, we would often have celebrities from those shows or like actors from those shows come in and do like ads and stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I worked there, the Sure Jan meme was like really popular, like Sure Jan from that movie. And we had the actor, and now I'm gonna forget his name. It's Barry. Oh my god, it's the actor who played Greg. I'm like really forgetting everything
Oh,
today.
Christopher
Hold
Daniel
on.
Barnes.
Um, no, not from the
Oh,
movie, but from the
the original one,
show. Yeah.
Barry
Oh my god, why am I forgetting his last name? I'm sorry, Barry. I literally like hung out. Barry Williams, duh.
Barry Williams.
Um, so he was filming stuff with us all day, and I did social media. And I was like, I really want to get Barry Williams to say "Sure Jan" for like an ad, just because I was like, original cast. I don't know, it's funny, right? And so we did ask him at one point to do it. He did not understand the reference and he did not care, but he was so game. He filmed like 20 like little ad snippets where he was like, "Sure, Jan." So that I don't know that we ever posted those, and they probably don't exist.
But at least you got to
But
spend the whole day.
I got to spend
Literally.
the day, and like I got to direct Barry Williams to do that. So, we love
That's
it.
incredible. A lot of kids quoted Friday when I was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those hangout movies that everybody watched for some reason.
Uh-huh. Is Friday, I'm gonna sound stupid here. Is Friday by Felicia? Is that from Friday, right?
I believe it is.
Yeah, which is like still people, well, not still, but maybe like 10 years ago, that was, you know, a meme or
Yes.
whatever again. Yeah.
Show is this movie. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The documentary Crumb came out that which I saw on IFC a bunch when I was in high school, but
I've seen this one because I like Crumb, the cartoonist, so
yeah.
I've seen it, but it's been a while.
What else we got? There's a bunch of okay. So Village of the Damned is the other John
Yeah.
Carpenter movie that we alluded to. It doesn't hold a candle to the original, but
No.
it's got some good stuff. It's got like one of Christopher Reeve's, I believe, last roles
Yeah.
before his accident, which is wild
Mhm.
to think about.
This is
Also-
one I saw on TV
Yeah,
like a lot. I feel like
absolutely.
this was a big TV movie. So I don't. Oh, Mark Hamill is in it too. Yeah.
Mark Hamill
what a
plays like
weird-
the priest who goes insane or something like that. I think.
I do kind of, yeah. I'm like looking at this Wikipedia page now. I'm like, I kind of want to rewatch this. It's been a long
It's
time.
not terrible, but it's
Yeah.
not amazing, but it's not terrible.
Right.
Going down the list. French
I know.
Kiss was another of those like Meg Ryan rom-coms that everybody watched.
Written by Lawrence Kasdan, which is wild.
Yep. Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide, fuck yeah, my boy Tony Scott. I love Crimson Tide. I just rewatched it recently and I was like, this movie has one of the most incredible casts, and like,
Yeah.
and everyone's like kind of that hot like 90s guy,
Even James
I think-
Gandolfini.
I mean, it's yes. Also, speaking of Viggo Mortensen,
Yeah.
like this was one of the ones I saw because of him. Steve Zahn is in this movie. It's like,
Yeah, Ryan
Phillippe,
Phillippe. Or yeah, however you pronounce his name.
I think it's.
I think
don't
you're probably
really
right.
know. Phillippe is-
But infamously, it has some rewritten stuff or ghost-written stuff by Quentin Tarantino. The entire section where they talk about Jack Kirby's Silver Surfer is all him, which I recently just watched that scene because of the Fantastic Four movie coming out, and it was just like, how did anybody take this seriously at the time?
You want to know a funny a funny, just to relate this back to Beethoven. I when I watched Beethoven's Third last night, there is a joke in that movie. The whole movie, like the I won't get into it all, but one of the plots involves physical media. Literally, like that's kind of like part of the whole plot is that they're trying to find like a code. The bad guys are trying to find this like code that's embedded on this like DVD. Anyway, the reason I'm linking this to Crimson Tide and Tarantino is that there's a point where they go into a video store and the guy working behind the desk is named Quentin. And I was like, this is definitely a nod to Quentin Tarantino in Beethoven's Third. So,
Incredible.
you know, there's surprises everywhere.
A terrible movie, a very not good movie called Gordy came out
Yeah.
in what was this, May of 1995. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it was the other pig movie that came out in 1995. The second one is one of the best movies ever made and won, or at least was nominated for Oscars galore, and still one of the movies that unabashedly makes me cry every time I watch it.
It's great.
Gordy, however, not that movie.
No, and that was around the time. Remember, it was kind of like Deep Impact Armageddon. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
It was common to get like two movies that are kind of the same, like, or at least have similar, plot mechanics. Or similar hooks, and that was one of them. I never saw Gordy. It kind of looked like shit, but
Wait a second. We need to. So Gordy, I never saw either.
Yeah.
It was written by Leslie Stevens. Do you know who Leslie Stevens was?
Sounds familiar, but
the creator of The Outer Limits, the 60s show. Why did he write this 3 years before he died? Why did this happen?
It's kind of like when you find out that like Music of the Heart was directed by Wes Craven. It's kind of, like that's one of those ones probably where that's funny.
The Outer Limits is one of my favorite shows ever. I think it's incredible, and yet he wrote Gordy. What a world we live in.
He probably needed a paycheck, but kind of sad that was the paycheck.
I don't know. I'll write about a talking pig.
Probably kind of a fun era of like your career to be in, where it's like I don't know, just this dog shit here, and then you can like buy a house with it. So.
City of Lost Children is another like video store find way later. Jean-Pierre Jeunet and Marc Caro. Really great. It's just an incredible, weird French movie.
Yeah, I watched that in college for the first time in French class because we were like allowed to pick French movies that we wanted to watch, and art class voted and picked that one. So that's how I first saw it, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Die Hard with a Vengeance, the third straight Die Hard movie that did not start as a Die Hard movie.
Yep. I love Die Hard I'm a Die Hard girly, so yeah, I'm a fan.
Easily the second best Die Hard movie, like not even a race really. No.
And also directed by my favorite criminal, John McTiernan.
Sure.
I mean, he did the first one too, but
Yeah. And he did The Hunt for Red October, another good movie.
He did.
And he did
another
Predator.
Movie.
So dude was a good filmmaker.
Yep. Hunt for Red October, another movie with hot men of that time.
Hot men under the water.
Yep.
Let's see. I remember A Little Princess.
A Little Princess was a big one. That was a movie I have seen 9,000 times. And in fact, it was one where like I didn't know directors really the same way back then, so I had no awareness of like Alfonso Cuarón, but like realizing later that he made that movie, I was like, that makes sense. And my aesthetic sensibilities lean towards that kind of thing. And it started there, I guess. I love that movie. It's so good. It's also one that makes me cry. Have you seen it before? It's like
A Little Princess. Really I saw that. I think we watched it in class or something like that. Like, like one of those days where it's like it's raining. We're gonna watch a video, and I think that was one of them.
It's good. There's a Shirley Temple version from like the 40s that is also good. So,
Braveheart.
We landed. I actually am not really a Braveheart person, so
I remember watching it and being like, okay, fine. But it won all the Oscars that year and stuff like that. Obviously, horrible anti-Semite directed it, but
yeah, it's Although, you know, it's sad not to say although to that, but but Mel Gibson is one of those like truly heinous people who unfortunately is just like phenomenal in all of his movies. And so I rewatched Signs recently, and
Yeah, man, he's
I was
good.
like, God, he's so good in that movie, like so good. And I was like, this movie would have sucked ass, honestly, without him, and or like without someone with that. And it's like, ugh, God, it makes me mad. Fuck him, but like, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
just yeah,
Not
bad
much
dude.
else you can say to that. Bad dude, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That is a
Brave.
who is it? I need to find. David O'Hara is in that movie playing
Mhm.
the Irish guy. Like he is himself a Scottish actor, but he's playing the Irish
Yep.
guy. And the reason I know that and remember that is because my dad always used to go, "Excellent," which is like the way he says that in the movie, and he would say that all the time.
I
This
love
is
it.
just a fun story about my dad.
I love it.
Tales from the Hood I only saw recently, pretty recently,
Yep.
which is I think one of the better like anthology horror movies. Like after the big heyday in the 60s and 70s,
Yep.
like it's good. I think it's good. Rusty
Yeah.
Cundiff and Darren Scott wrote it, and it's good. I really like it. Clarence Williams III as like their version of the Crypt Keeper is really good.
Very good. I saw that movie for the first time also at Music Box during their 24-hour horror movie marathon that they do. This was years ago. It was the same year I saw In the Mouth of Madness there. And I saw they played this one at like 3 a.m. So my like memories of it are very fuzzy and kind of dreamlike. So I should probably see it again.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I was kind of I wasn't sure what to expect because you know you see the poster and it's just like a
Kind
skeleton
of
with sunglasses
generic.
on. I think yeah, like
Yeah.
who cares? But yeah, I remember being good. Casper was big. I think we went to go see Casper
Huge.
a couple times. Like this is a big
I
movie.
I've been waiting to talk about this one once I first saw this list because this was like Lindsay core when I was that age. Like it was kind of exactly like it was a kids movie, but it was kind of dark and like weird. Um, this was the era when I had like crushes on dads in movies. So like Bill Pullman, I was like in love with, which normal 7-year-old behavior, right?
Sure.
And I just love this movie. I don't. I tried to rewatch it a few years ago, and I was like, oof,
There's no way
like
it's good.
it's not good at all. It's actually kind of terrible, but there's really good like aspects of it, and one of the good aspects of it is Kathy Moriarty's performance in it,
Mm.
which is like incredible. That was she was kind of like similar to Joan Crawford in like Addams Family Values, where you just like pepper in this kind of amazing character actress to like.
Do you mean Joan Cusack?
Oh my God, who did I say? Did I say Joan Crawford?
You did.
Oh my God. Sorry, Joan Cusack. Chicago legend. I didn't mean to
No.
upset your name. I'm really like fumbling the memory today. I guess I just
Oh, we're old.
I'm drinking coffee, but it's decaf, so like I'm not.
It's daytime. What are you
I
doing
know.
drinking decaf coffee during the day?
When I went to the doctor the last time, I had kind of high blood pressure, so we're just trying to. I know it's caffeine
Look, I have high
related,
blood
so
pressure. I take pills for it. So I'm there with you.
I'm trying to avoid having to do that, but I might have to so that I can drink coffee again because I got to tell you, pretty miserable to not have it when you're a cold brew addict like me. So,
Mm,
but I think that's why it's not hitting.
right.
My brain is a little foggy.
It's all right. You at least said Joan C. That was pretty close.
I knew who I was talking
I know. I
about,
knew
even
who
if
you were talking about.
yeah, even if I flubbed the name. And also, Joan Crawford in Addams Family Values would have been
Would have been
awesome.
great.
And
I was
she
trying.
would
I
have
was like,
killed.
wait, is
Yeah,
she? No, she was dead by then. I'm sure.
she was, I believe. But yeah, she would have killed it.
Yeah. Casper was one of those like. Do you remember that? This is so old. I can't even believe I'm about to say this. But do you remember the Columbia House like
Oh,
tape
yes.
VHS? So it was albums, but then they also had
Yeah,
VHS
videos.
tapes. And I believe that Jurassic Park was the first one that we got from there. And it was one of those things where like if you had to send in a thing to like opt out of the movie, otherwise they would just send it to you and charge you. And I think my family or my parents forgot to send it in. And so we ended up getting Casper, even though nobody asked for it. And I remember watching it a lot because we had it. May as well do it.
It was a big like kids rewatch that movie a lot.
Absolutely.
Like I remember watching it constantly at like friends' houses and stuff too. So
it's easily the best movie about a dead child.
Certainly.
I don't even know. It probably isn't actually. I'm sure there's better.
Fuck you, Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah. I'm not watching that. I'm
That's
not
not
watching
really
that a
the best.
second time. What's the matter with you?
No, no.
I had never seen Johnny Mnemonic until a few years ago when the Criterion Channel had the black and white version. I was like, I'm going to watch that. I didn't
Yep.
hate it. I thought it was kind of okay.
I think it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
I
William
mean, this
Gibson
was
wrote it.
also kind of Keanu's like almost fade out before he faded back in for
Yes.
like Matrix. But still a good time for him, I think.
Johnny Mnemonic was a punchline for a couple of years because it really bombed and also like
Yeah.
nobody liked it. And it was
I
a
used to
punchline.
I used to confuse the name, to be honest, with Johnny Tsunami, the Disney Channel original movie.
Sure.
Like the first time I heard someone say Johnny Mnemonic, that's what I thought they were talking about. So
Bridges of Madison County, I guess, or are you a Mad Love person? That's the other one. Okay.
I know I've seen Mad Love because I
Yeah.
loved Drew Barrymore, and that was kind of like what wasn't it like Chris O'Donnell and Drew
Chris
Barrymore? It was
O'Donnell,
like very 90s cast, so I've seen it, but I don't think it was like a thing for me.
No.
Bridges of Madison County I have never seen.
I watched one
weird.
time, but
Yeah.
I think it was just because I was like, it's a Clint Eastwood directed movie. I should at least give it a whirr. But,
Yeah. I dated someone last year who like was really like I would not have expected was like really into that movie. Like he was
Interesting.
otherwise pretty like fussy, and he was like, no, Bridges of Madison County rocks. And so
And you still didn't watch it. And that tells you how the relationship went.
Yeah, it went really badly. Like screw him. But like I still like kind of want to see it because at least he has decent taste. So that I did add it
That's
to
the one
my
thing, yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I did add it to my list, but I have not seen it. So
You don't
no
necessarily
comment.
need to rush to go watch it. It's fine.
No. Yeah, it's you know
It's
It'll
Clint
be
Eastwood and
there.
Meryl Streep courting, which is kind of adorable, but
yeah, I'll watch it at some point. I don't think it's going anywhere. So
the next one I want to talk about is Congo, which I'd like to remind you is where you are the endangered species.
Yeah.
That was the tagline.
Congo was like, oh my God, speaking of the Jurassic video that Adam did, I know my friend Stephen Ray Morris is in that video, I believe, because he's a big Jurassic Park guy. And he was in Chicago recently and we like hung out and talked, and literally for like 45 minutes we talked about Congo. Because like that was one of his movies as a kid, and like it's just funny. That's come up for me a lot in the last year.
It's really I remember it coming out and being kind of excited, and then hearing it wasn't good and all this stuff. And I got the book for my birthday that year. This was what? Yeah. So the movie was coming out in June, and my birthday was in mid-May. So like people gave me the book and everything like that, and it was just like, oh, it's like not very good. And I later, was like knew who Bruce Campbell was, and he's in it for like 10 minutes at the beginning.
Right.
But then I watched it, within since living in LA, so that is almost 20 years, but at some point, because a friend of mine really liked it. Ernie Hudson is really good in that movie. He's like the cool hunter guy in the movie, and he's really good.
I do love Ernie Hudson. I have not seen this movie in like a million years, but I do.
Screenplay by John Patrick Shanley.
John Patrick Shanley, obviously a Crichton book, which was like, this is the era of Michael Crichton too. So, I need to revisit Congo. Also, another like, I guess not gorillas aren't monkeys, right? I don't know.
Well, they aren't.
Whatever.
They're apes, but
there was a lot of apes and monkeys in the 90s going on.
Oh,
too, so.
It was big. And a lot of people in ape suits, which is what this is.
Yes. The theme of monkeys and apes, big.
It has one of the... So anyway, Congo, where you were the endangered species we would quote all the time. And then the other one is... would we just like casually asking each other, so should we keep eating Delroy Lindo sesame cake, or should we not? Because he screams at Tim Curry to stop eating a sesame cake in that movie, and it's very funny.
I love it.
Yeah, not a good movie, but a great movie. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yes, seminal for sure.
Seminal for sure. Now you wanted to talk about Party Girl, a movie I've never seen.
Oh my God, you haven't seen Party Girl?
I've never seen Party Girl.
Party Girl is a movie for like weird women like me, because obviously it stars Parker Posey, and it's just kind of, again, seminal for... I didn't see this movie until way later, so this was not like in my rotation in the 90s. I don't even know how available it was. Like it certainly was not at my video store.
No, I don't remember seeing... I think I have seen it somewhere, but like I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, I believe It's currently on the Criterion channel, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
So I recommend, if it's not, it comes back sometimes. So like it'll be there at some point.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. Great movie. Parker Posey is a queen.
Oh,
And
interesting. It was the first feature film to premiere on the internet.
oh, was it? I didn't know that. Was it
Interesting.
at, I think it was a Sundance movie, maybe? Was it at Sundance? I feel
Yeah,
like it
looks
was
like it.
part of that, like, yeah, an internet premiere ahead of, wow, it invented streaming, apparently.
Weird. So
Yeah, that's
it's her
crazy.
fault. Her being Parker Posey, of course.
Yeah, it's all her fault. Well, now she's reaping in the benefits on White Lotus. So,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
she's doing good.
Yeah. I don't think she's ever not worked.
No.
She was in Beau is Afraid, a movie I really didn't like, but I
Yeah.
thought she was good in it.
She pops back up a lot.
Yeah. Batman Forever, the aforementioned Batman Forever.
Yes.
Look, I'll never not want to watch this movie. I watched it for my wife and I didn't do anything for New Year's. Wasn't this most recent one, but the one before. And so it was like
Uh-huh.
10:30 at night, and we're like, "You want to watch Batman Forever?" And so we just watched Batman Forever,
I
and it
love
was
it.
great.
I told you I think this was off mic, but that I almost went to a midnight screening of that here recently, and I could not summon the energy, but I was there spiritually because I
Yeah.
also love Batman Forever.
The first CD I ever owned was the soundtrack to Batman
The
Forever.
soundtrack rules. That was where I
Yeah.
think I first learned who Seal was. So,
Oh yeah, that was easily that was such a big song.
it was big.
Kiss from
It
a
was
Rose,
huge.
still great song. Makes no
Still
sense
great.
as a song, but it's incredible.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
That U2 song on it is actually pretty good. I knew this thing backwards and forwards. That they had the Offspring doing a Damned cover, and I didn't know who the Damned were, and I didn't even realize it was a cover until much later. There's a Flaming Lips song on there. There's is it PJ Harvey doing shoot, I can't remember if she does it or somebody else does it. Somebody does a cover of Iggy Pop's Passenger. It's just such a good soundtrack.
Yeah. I don't know actually who did that cover because I'm looking it up, it just says Iggy Pop, but
It might have just been an Iggy Pop. Like I don't
yeah.
100% remember. I might be conflating a few things, but
Well,
that
it's just he's
was
listed as the songwriter, so it could very well have been a cover. But yeah, I don't remember all of it. Sorry, now I'm just
yeah.
looking at this. Yeah, great movie, great soundtrack. This was also like 90s soundtracks were like,
Oh, it was Michael Hutchence.
oh,
Isn't that weird?
yeah.
He died in
That is
97.
weird.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. There was a song called The Riddler by Method Man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Sunny Day Real Estate. Come on. Like just man, I love the soundtrack.
It's a good one. I need
There's
to
a
like
Nick Cave song on
dust
there
it
that
off.
I 100% did not know Nick Cave was at the time.
No. I think like this is one I definitely perhaps still have somewhere, like the physical
I must
copy.
I have it somewhere too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Man, what a good soundtrack. What a good movie.
Love it.
I don't care if anybody else thinks it's a bad movie. You are wrong.
You are wrong.
Pocahontas came out the next week, which
Yeah.
Disney was really, really trying to do a prestige movie.
Yep.
And I don't think they succeeded.
They sure did it. I didn't like that movie. I'm not trying to act like I'm cool, and I know I already talked about not liking animated ones, but I did see this one in theaters and I did not like it at all. And I think I was, kids my age were obsessed with it, so I do
Sure.
think it hit, but I liked the song Colors of the Wind, and
Sure.
otherwise I thought it was boring, and now I recognize that it's also deeply problematic. So, if you want to watch a Pocahontas movie, watch The New World by Terrence Malick. That's my suggestion.
Oh yeah,
I don't
of
know
course.
if that was
I don't know how accurate it is, but it's probably more accurate.
I don't know if it's even more or less problematic. I haven't seen it in forever, but beautiful movie.
Yeah, 100%. That was not a good Disney movie. No. Leprechaun 3. I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about Leprechaun 3.
I've seen it. I've seen all the Leprechaun movies.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I think I've only seen the first 2.
Yeah, that was one that I saw. I saw the first Leprechaun movie when I was like 5 years old. Again, kids were.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to, but I did. I used to sneak and watch my dad watching movie. Like I was always in the living room and he was watching stuff in our TV room, and I would like sneak and watch stuff. So that was one of them.
That first one feels like it should be a family movie, and then there's gore.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yes, it is. That was kind of like that feels like a trend a little bit too, where
Yeah.
it's like kind of like even Child's Play and stuff. It's like
Sure.
has the veneer of a kids movie and then is, demented and weird.
And Troll, the first Troll. Troll 2 is a
Troll,
completely separate animal.
that's
But
its own thing.
yeah.
Yes.
I love that we were alive when on the same day Apollo 13, Judge Dredd, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie all came out.
Yes, that's very special. That
And
would, yeah.
yeah. And I saw all of them. Not in
I
theaters. I didn't see Judge Dredd in theaters, but I saw the other two in theaters for sure.
I probably saw the Power Rangers movie in theaters. I don't really recall. I definitely didn't see Apollo 13 in theaters. I did watch it in class maybe like 3 years later or something. Like I remember watching that in middle school.
I think my class got taken to the theater to watch it.
That's possible. That was a
Yeah.
thing that we used to do
Mhm.
back then. Maybe they still do that. But yes, Apollo 13, obviously great movie, important movie. I haven't seen it in a million years, but it feels like a dad movie kind of now.
Kind
but,
of. Well, they showed it. They were doing a Ron Howard retrospective at the American Cinematheque a while ago. It may actually have been around the time that Solo came out.
Okay.
Yeah. At the Cinematheque, and so they were showing Apollo 13 on film at the Aero Theater in Santa Monica, and I was really shocked at how well it holds up, and it just looks incredible. And because I don't think I watched it on cable. I was maybe the last time I watched it when I was still a kid.
Right.
So I was really kind of surprised at how good it was, and but also how much it all had stuck with me. Like I remembered so many like moments from that movie.
I think I would have probably a similar experience.
Yeah.
Watching it, another movie with just a bunch of babes. So
100%. I vividly remember Bill Paxton throwing up in Zero Gravity. That's like a huge.
Bill Paxton is like the love of my life. So I was just talking about him yesterday. I have a Bill Paxton like necklace that a friend made. Like
Interesting.
That's my guy. I had a big crush on him after Twister when I was a kid, and
oh yeah,
then became like a fan of all of his stuff. So R.I.P.
Well, that Twister was the movie that made me learn what liability only car insurance meant.
Oh, okay.
Because he mentions
love that.
Yeah.
I don't even recall that line, and I've seen that movie so many times, but that's because car related, insurance related things,
well, because they
don't quite reach me.
Helen Hunt's truck gets destroyed, and then she's like
the red
to him, do you have full coverage on that? And he's like, liability only, and she goes, liability only, and then they still take her.
I do remember now that you said that in Helen Hunt's phrasing, I do recall, but I don't really know much about insurance. So
fun fact for nobody, Twister, the very first movie to be released on DVD.
On DVD, I did know that. Yes, that's one of my occasionally that's in my Letterboxd top 4. That's how much I love Twister. So it's a.
Do you know the follow-up? Do you know the very last movie commercially released on VHS?
Ooh, no, was it around that same time or was it?
No, it was
later?
It was later. It was a mid-2000s movie.
Oh, okay, mid-2000s. Let me think, because I was like really buying stuff at that time. So I'm like, I wonder what. This is not the answer, but I do remember the last movie or the first movie that I bought on DVD because I could not find it on VHS, which was the movie Swim Fan. That was my first DVD purchase.
Interesting.
I remember going to Suncoast because Jesse Bradford, who I mentioned earlier, I had a big crush on.
That's right.
I went to Suncoast and I wanted the VHS of it because I didn't have a DVD player at the time because it was like early 2000s. And they did not have it, and I had to order it on DVD. So that was my answer. But I don't know what the last VHS. I feel like this is a fun fact I've heard at like trivia or something, but I'm not.
A History of Violence.
I would not have guessed that.
Nobody would.
With a gun to my head. So that is hilarious.
But those are just fun trivia facts that I know.
I had that movie on DVD, so
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, I was surprised to hear that there were still VHSs being made at that point because I was well into the DVD years.
That's why that surprised me. Like, even though you said mid-2000s, my brain was thinking like kids stuff or whatever. But
and now it's getting a Criterion release. To circle back to something we talked about before we started recording.
Yes. We should
Anyway,
afterwards, maybe not on air or whatever, but I'll see how many of the movies from 1995 are on Criterion before Sunrises too. So we've got at least
that's true. We should.
one from this year.
Yes. Okay. First Night, I remember being a big movie. A lot of
Yep.
kids wanted to go see that big romantic epic
I
starring.
saw that I saw that movie so many times because speaking of, I'm sorry, I know I'm like yapping at all of
No,
these, but
please.
that was one that was the preview for it, like the trailer for it was on my VHS copy of Little Women, the
Oh, sure.
Winona Ryder, and I watched
Yeah.
that movie. I've seen that movie perhaps more than any movie on earth, and so I've seen the trailer for the first night so many times, and then I became like so familiar with the trailer that I then had to see the movie, and then I liked it a lot. So, um, yeah,
That is one of the weird, like, that was directed by Jerry Zucker
yep,
of the Zucker brothers, who also
yes,
directed Ghost. Weird
yes.
facts.
Didn't he also, or no, he wrote Airplane.
Yeah, yeah. He and his brother David Zucker, and then
Yeah,
Jim Abrams did Airplane and Top Secret and
Airplane.
Kentucky Fried Movie and all that
Oh God,
stuff.
Kentucky Fried Movie,
Naked
hilarious.
Gun, that was all them. And then for some reason, Jerry Zucker also directed Ghost and First Night.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know, man. Weird times.
weird times. At least he
Species.
didn't write Gordy.
At least he didn't write Gordy. That was the
Yeah,
guy who created my favorite show.
yeah.
Weird. Species, I remember being a big deal because of all the nudity in it.
Yes,
It
yes.
was like, I don't know
I
why people wouldn't shut
definitely
up about it, but that was like a big deal at the time.
I definitely saw this movie also. Like this was when I rented, probably like not too long after this time. So why was I
Yeah.
watching that movie at that age? I don't know, but I liked it.
I remember Natasha Henstridge and Alfred Molina won the MTV award for Best Kiss when she French kisses
Oh,
him and bursts her tongue through the back of his
yeah.
neck.
I remember that too now that you say it. So that's funny.
I haven't watched this in a very, very long time. I have no idea if it's good or not, but
Yeah, I don't either.
who knows? What else? 9 Months was a. I have never seen it, but I remember it being out.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one.
The Indian in the
I
Cupboard.
I certainly saw that one. I had
Oh
the
yes.
VHS. I had the VHS with the Indian that comes out of the
Oh
cupboard.
really?
Yeah, yes, I had that. And I don't know if this is a movie that holds up. I have to assume probably not,
Probably
but
not.
yeah, but I did like it as a kid. I don't remember even really what it's about.
I remember
Besides,
reading the book, like my class reading the book when I was in like third grade. I guess was that this
uh-huh.
year? 11? No, I would have been. But anyway, I remember reading it and then the movie coming out and going to see it and being like, it's different from the book. That was like the first
Yeah,
time that ever really happened. Under Siege 2, bad.
I haven't
Um,
seen it.
Free Willy 2, bad. Let's talk about Clueless. Hey,
I
that's
was
a
gonna
movie
say,
everybody likes.
I thought you skipped over Clueless for a minute with Free Willy, and I was like, are we not going to talk about like
No, we're
perhaps
going to
maybe
talk
the
about
most
Clueless.
famous movie from this year? Yeah, or one of them.
It,
It
yeah,
rocks. Great movie.
it is really good. I
It
remember when I was a
is.
kid being like, it's a girl movie or whatever, and then watching it like,
Hmm.
when I was a teen and just being like, actually, it's very good. It's a
I
very good movie.
rewatched it like a few weeks ago. Actually, part of it. It was on something that I was watching, like streaming. Maybe it was on Pluto or something, and I
Oh,
just kind of
probably.
tuned in for a minute. And even watching like just a half hour of that movie like is perfect. It's another one where like I believe the optics at the end of a girl falling in love with her like adult stepbrother is like perhaps a little weird, but I feel like maybe we should have weird stuff like that in movies every
I
now and
guess
then.
so. But
Maybe
it was based on Emma, and that's what happens in Emma.
also,
So,
if I recall correctly, I think he's like 18 and she's 16 or it's not like the most egregious thing in the entire world.
right.
Whatever. Not to like
No, no, no.
start that discourse, but I feel like that's the one problem, quote unquote problematic thing people like cite about that movie, but otherwise it's perfect. Great movie.
It's really, yeah. R.I.P. Brittany Murphy, like really funny and
Yes.
good in that
She's
movie.
so good in that. Oh my god. She was the one that really like every time I watch it now, I'm like, damn, she was so good.
She was legitimately good in everything she was in. Like even if the movies
She
were not
was.
good, like she was
Yes.
just great in everything.
Yes, I remember I watched so many shitty movies because of her
Yeah,
in like
right?
the 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, because she just
Yeah.
had that like gravitas.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too long about the movie Kids because it's
Yeah.
a bummer of a movie, but that movie did
It's
come out and
so
I did not watch it until pretty recently actually and was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh god, this is horrible."
I saw it as a teen, definitely not in 95. I have not seen it in a million years. It was one of those ones though that had a big effect on me. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it was one of those, like, it's a disturbing movie, so I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, and then, like,
Yep.
it's disturbing, it's thematically disturbing, and, like, I don't know, it's like, it's not super violent or anything like that, but it's just
No.
like, you're watching this, like, I don't wanna look up, if you've never seen Kids, the Larry Clark movie written by Harmony Korine, look up what it's about and then go, ah, because it's really
Yeah.
upsetting.
It's
But it
very
had a young
upsetting.
Chloe Sevigny and, Rosario Dawson,
Yep.
and I think that's it in terms of people that you would recognize.
Yeah.
Um, so let's move on to The Net, the Irwin Winkler movie starring Sandra Bullock, which was like, why did everybody like this movie? But it was
I
a big
saw this
movie.
movie.
Of course, I did too.
I think I maybe even saw it this year. I didn't see it in theaters, but I think I saw it like on a rental with my grandma. So, um, I don't remember it, but I
I
did
don't
like it.
either. I just remember it being like, oh, they're coming to get us.
I I live right by like a street with sirens a lot, so apologies.
Well, you can see out, you at home can't, but that's a hospital, so there's often quite a lot of
Yeah.
sirens over here too.
Yeah.
Um, Operation Dumbo Drop, I remember seeing in theaters. I can't imagine that holds up either.
Probably not.
Um, Waterworld is way better than its reputation. Still not amazing, but it is better than its reputation.
Yeah, I saw that a lot on TV. I'm like actually starting to be like, damn, 95. It's crazy that in the month of July in 95, it's like
All of those movies
Clueless,
came out. Like,
Kids, The Net, and Waterworld. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
what a time. What a time to
What a
be
time.
alive.
And then the
And
very
then
next movie
is Babe, which
Babe.
was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated for Best Actor for James Cromwell, who I think has 2 lines of dialogue in the entire thing. It is
Yeah,
legitimately one of my favorite movies,
it's
and I can't watch it because it makes
wonderful.
me cry every single time I watch it.
It's very sad. It's very beautiful. Also written by George Miller. Another one of those
Yep.
weird like ones where it's like that guy wrote that, but you know, unlike
And
Gordy, it's a good
yeah,
one.
right. And then he directed Babe Pig in the City, which is so weird.
Yes, yes. I have seen that one arguably more than the first Babe just
Interesting.
because I was a kid. I don't know, you
Sure.
latch on to random stuff, but so sometimes I actually like get some of the plot points
Mm.
from Babe Pig in the City kind of like mixed up in my
I
head,
just remember
but
that they built like an entire city set inside a like a soundstage, and I was
uh-huh.
just like blown away that it was that big and yet was fake. And
Yeah,
it looks not real because of that. Like, it's kind of
right,
fairy
right.
tale looking, but
Totally.
man,
Babe.
my brother was always, if there was a sequel, he only ever wanted to watch the sequel. He never, like,
Uh-huh.
whatever the newest version, or in the franchise. So like, once Babe Pig in the City came out, we never got to watch Babe again, basically, because he
I
would
was kind of like
pitch a
that too.
fit.
Now that you say it, because I was like, I mean, not like in time I can look back and be like, no, I loved that movie too. But I was like to go back to Jurassic Park, I was obsessed with the Lost World. But I think it was because I liked Jurassic Park so much that a new
Right.
version of that like was even more exciting because
Sure.
I didn't have anticipation for the first one, but I did for
Right.
the second one. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like that a little bit too.
Let's see, what else do we have on there's, I mean, we literally could mention every single movie because I have
Yeah.
memories of some fashion of all of them coming out,
The
but
next big one for me was Babysitter's Club, which was like I was obsessed with the
sure.
Babysitter's Club books, with the TV show, and then with this movie. I rewatched a couple of years ago and I was like, actually, this is pretty good. Like it holds up. It's got
Mm.
like kind of a crazy cast of like I don't know. Ellen Burstyn is in it. She's like the neighbor who like rats them out to the city. It was big for me, but because I liked the music and it was like a movie about, girls my age doing
Mhm.
stuff. So, or a little bit older, but yeah, I have a lot of affection for BSC.
I'm trying to remember if I ever actually saw that movie or if I'm just thinking about having seen the trailer a million times.
Yeah. It was one of those like pre like Sex in the City things where you were like, which babysitter club girl were
Oh
you?
yeah,
You
sure. I
know?
remember girls
Yeah.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind
Well,
of
there was
that.
also a show, like it was on the Disney Channel, I believe.
Oh, yes. It was a Canadian
It was a Canadian
show.
show. That's right.
Yes. And I used to rent it from the I had Babysitter Club dolls. They had tie-in dolls from that show. So like that's I was really in it. I was in that world. I was a Claudia for anyone interested. That was my
I was interested. Thank you for telling me.
yeah, you're welcome. She was like the artsy one,
Yeah.
who like liked junk food and stuff. So I loved her.
Good for them. Good for them for
Yep.
making that for all the girls of that era.
Well, it also had spooky episode or like spooky books here and there, and there's a spooky episode on the like TV show. So it also kind of like, you
Mm.
know, tickled the horror, you know, fan in me as well.
Um, so I have a funny story about Mortal Kombat, the Paul W.S. Anderson movie, Mortal Kombat.
Uh-huh.
My mom would not let me see it. Would
Really?
not. This movie was PG-13. She
Yeah.
had shown me on VHS Speed, which is
Okay.
R-rated, very violent, tons of swearing.
Yep.
And she just would not let me because she didn't let me play the games. And
Yeah.
so all my friends wanted to see it, wanted to watch it at a sleepover or whatever, and she just would not let me watch it. And I wrote a letter to her
Oh my
trying like to convince her, here are the reasons why you should let me watch it. Here are the
Incredible.
other movies that are worse than this that you've let me watch, all this stuff. And she read it and she just went, no. Like she
Yeah.
just like firmly said no. And then I went and watched it at my friend's house anyway, because
That's
we
what
were
always
children and nobody
happened.
was watching us.
I wish
Um,
that parents like this was a big thing for me too. If I was told I wasn't allowed to watch something, I would be seeing it like
yeah, of course.
illicitly, like always. And so I'm like, if you would just let me watch it, it's like I'm gonna see it anyway. But now like they make
Now it's
it more
forbidden fruit.
and they make it more enticing.
Yeah.
My big one like that was Blair Witch Project. I wanted to see Blair Witch Project so bad when it came out. I was a little young. I was like 11 or 12 or
Well, it was
something. But like
99,
not
so yeah, a couple years
yeah, it
ago.
was like
A couple
11
years
or
later.
12. And so or 11 probably. And I really like was obsessed with that and I wasn't allowed to see it. And then I went to my dad's for a weekend and he let me rent it. That was always my I'd go to my dad's house and like that's where I got to watch the shit. But he
Yeah.
would always kind of be like, if you're not allowed to, but you know, whatever, I could convince him. So, but that was one where I was like, if you hadn't told me, like, because my, you know, whatever, yeah, if I hadn't been told I couldn't see it, I don't know that it would have had the forbidden fruit aspect. So I'm glad that yours was Mortal Kombat. That's funny.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a good movie or anything like that,
No,
but
no.
it's an interesting
It was a
watch.
big one. Like all
It was
my
a big one.
friends were into it too. So
That was
yeah.
another one I had the soundtrack for. It was a lot of
Okay.
techno, which I was never into, but my friend was big into techno.
Yeah. I didn't have that one, but
It's all
this
right.
wasn't one of my movies, but I
Shocking.
I mean it for you was Babysitter's Club for me. So yeah.
Desperado is a movie I really like still to this day.
I do too. One of my favorite Robert Rodriguez. This was when Robert Rodriguez was like cooking.
Absolutely. Gosh, I think this might be my favorite Robert Rodriguez movie. Maybe.
Okay.
I'd have to look at
Mine
a full list, but
mine is The Faculty just because that one is like
sure.
was again seminal for
Yeah.
me.
And that is a good movie. I think
it rocks.
any way you cut it, it's a good movie.
Apparently, according to Ryan Coogler, that was one of his big inspirations for Sinners, like more so than From Dusk Till Dawn, which is the Rodriguez one. Like people were like linking to it the most, and there's that scene which is also in the Thing, but like the scene where they kind of have to test and see like who's a vampire. That's also like right out of The Faculty too. So we love it.
Yeah, I need to. I wonder if they've ever put out. I bet they have put out a really good version of The Faculty.
Yeah, on DVD
probably.
or Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume.
But yeah, Desperado rips.
Yes.
Has
very
Quentin
good.
Tarantino in it for 5 seconds, and then he gets shot in the head. And I remember listening to the commentary because that was right when I was getting into audio commentaries, and
Yeah.
Rodriguez always did really good ones. But he was saying like, I could get bigger name people in this movie if they weren't in it very long, so I just killed everybody. And it was just
Yeah.
like, that's such a smart idea.
It is a smart idea. I love
Like,
that.
see, Steve Buscemi's in it for a little bit. He gets killed, and then
Yep.
you move on, and then it's just like, well, we don't need to worry about him anymore. And I think that's very funny.
It's a great idea.
Have you ever seen Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions? Because I remember seeing the
I-
trailer, and I still do not think I've ever seen it.
I have not. I love Clive Barker, and I was like
Yeah.
big into his like writing and stuff.
Same.
Weirdly, probably around this time, maybe a little later, but yeah. But I've never seen this.
Yeah, weird. All right, well, sorry to Clive Barker. The Thief and the Cobbler is like a famous example of a animated movie that took 1,000,000 years to come out, and it still was never really finished. It was like Richard Williams was making it kind of on his own,
Right.
Um, it's a really well animated movie, but it's the kind of story about it's much more interesting than the actual movie. But
I've never
just
seen
wanted to
it.
shout that one out.
Yeah.
The Prophecy I mentioned before we started recording, that was another big one that kids would talk about a lot. That is
Yep.
not as good as everyone made it seem to be.
Nope.
Although Viggo
But
Mortensen as Satan is real good.
that's part of and I
Yeah.
told you the box with like Christopher Walken's like weird face on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
His hair is insane in that
intriguing.
movie. Like,
It
it's
is,
weird.
yes.
Like, I don't even know what you want to call it. It looks fake. It looks fake, but I don't believe it
Yeah,
is.
probably
Um,
not.
what else do we got? Tu Wong Fu.
Tu
Thanks for
Wong
everything, Julie.
Fu, great one.
Have not watched that in a million years. That was one my mom loved. That movie. She watched it a bunch. It was on TV a lot,
Yes.
and she always watched it. But she was a big Patrick Swayze head, so I think that was why.
This is another one. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm just kind of
Please,
scrolling through this month. Holy shit. Like,
I know.
as we get through this is maybe one of the craziest months of releases like ever.
Yeah, let's
Just
hit
like,
them.
yeah, well, I mean, the next one, I mean, Hackers, big
Hackers,
movie from that
hack the
time.
planet.
Yes. I mean, again, not to jump too far ahead, but like Usual Suspects, Empire Records, Seven, Showgirls all came out in this month.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Devil in a
lot of
Blue
those.
Dress, which is really
Devil in a
good.
Blue Dress, yes.
Um,
I mean, I've seen this Return of the Texas Chain, again, one of the sequels that my shitty little like video store had.
Yeah.
So I've seen this one. That's the Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger
It
one.
is.
I've seen it many times.
That one is all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels make my stomach hurt for some reason.
Yes, yes, yes.
And this one makes my stomach hurt because it's so just ugh, it just like
It's
grosses me
gross.
out. Yeah.
It's gross. It's very like, I mean, they're all pretty sweaty and stuff. But
Yeah, very,
this
very
one's
true.
high on sweaty.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, low key, really great in it though. Like he's a good.
He's going
psycho.
for it.
Yeah. Yes.
I've still never seen the third one, which is the one with Viggo Mortensen in it.
Viggo, I've seen that one plenty of times.
Is it?
I will.
Is it worth me watching?
It's yes, I think so. It's not
Okay.
good, but it's like
Sure.
it's good. You know, like it's,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
I will say it's worth it because, for any of my fellow Vigo is hot fans, it's, I would say, perhaps his hottest movie. I mean, he's like gross and weird in it because he's
Sure.
part of like the family, but
Right.
he's so hot. It's like really, there's like a part where he like wears a little apron. It's like a whole thing. But
I think it's really funny that the two that Tobe Hooper made, like the hitchhiker is like the younger guy version,
Yeah.
like of the family. And then
Yeah.
the second one, it's Chop Top, who is even more messed up. And
Yes,
then when
yes,
other
yes.
people started directing it, it's like, we should make that character hot in both of these
Yes.
movies.
Yep. I mean, worked for me, but
Yeah, of course it does.
But yeah, like Empire Records, huge.
Yeah,
movie
Empire
for
Records.
me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
everybody loves that movie. Usual Suspects
Seven.
is another like problematic fave for a number of reasons.
The fact that Empire Records, Return of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Seven, and Showgirls all came out on the same day is wild.
It's
That's
what
wild.
a world.
That's so insane.
Yeah. What? Oh,
I would have
man.
been like, maybe if I could time travel, I'd just go back to that day and sit in a
Yeah.
theater.
September 22nd, 1995.
That's my little sister's second birthday too,
Wow. That's why you didn't go, obviously. It's
I
because that was her
mean, yeah.
birthday. You had other stuff going on.
I certainly didn't see any of these in theater, but
No. But I remember like asking. So my mom went and saw Seven. She really liked it. And then I remember so many people saying how scary it was and everything like that. And like going to like a party or something like that, where there were grown-ups talking about it and just being like, oh my God, I need to see this movie. And then I eventually watched it and was like, I loved it, but it's like, it's not scary.
It's not scary. No, it's kind of gross and like creepy at times, but yeah, it's not scary. This is like, honestly, I love David Fincher. Not one of my like David Fincher movies though. Like it's indisputably a great movie. It's just like, not one of his that I'm like clocking in for all the time.
I haven't returned to this in a really long time. It was like huge there for a while. I watched it a bunch, but that and Fight Club, like, when I was in early college, it was like once it was up to me and I could buy my own DVDs or whatever.
Yep.
Those were ones that I watched a lot. I think Zodiac is far and away the best of his movies, in my opinion. I love that movie.
I would agree, and that is like my weird comfort movie. I watch that movie like
It's
once
so
every
good.
once
I
every few months. It's just like, yeah, I love it. I
that
watch it
mo-
so much that I don't even log it on Letterboxd anymore because I'm like,
You're like, come
it
on.
would look kind of pathetic if I just was logging that one constantly. But I love it.
That I think that because that came out in 2007, and I'm
Yes.
pretty sure was that the same year that Departed came out, or was that 2006? I can't
No,
remember.
it was Departed, I believe, was 2006. 2007 was like the big movie years, like No Country for Old Men, There Will Be
That's right.
Blood,
Yes,
Michael Clayton. That was all
that was a
like
big year, and
that's
Zodiac
one.
completely got looked over because it was came out in like February or whatever.
Yeah, it came out. I saw that movie in theaters, and it was me, my sister, and my friend, and we were the only people in the theater. But that's a really memorable one for us because that one is kind of scary. There's like parts of it that are really scary,
Yeah,
and like the Lake Berryessa thing with like the stabbing, and then the basement scene, and that very scary. We were
yeah,
very scared. So
really, man. Zodiac's
yeah,
so good. I gotta watch
so
that again.
good. I know. I'm like maybe
I
I
haven't
should
watched
put
it in
that
forever.
on after this.
That the movie you've seen a ton recently.
Yes, yes, I love it.
Um, Devil in a Blue Dress I only saw recently. That's another one that's on Criterion.
Okay, yeah,
Carl Franklin. It's a Easy Rollins like hard boiled mystery novel
okay,
that was turned into a movie. Really good, actually amazing young Don Cheadle performance as like Easy Rollins is like criminal like cohort. Like he calls in this guy when he needs backup, and he's this little dude with all these guns. It's incredible. It's such a good performance.
I love it. I need to
Really
see it.
great movie. Denzel Washington, of course, is fantastic. So Halloween 6 came out. Halloween 6 is it's hard to say. Maybe the worst Halloween movie. As
It's yeah,
ugh,
I would say it's probably the worst one, and also it's a fun watch. Like it's
it
so
is super
bad.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
like one of the ones I actually enjoy watching the most, even though I don't think it's an. I would agree it's probably the worst one. But you got young Paul Rudd. You've got like a cult. It's like fucking weird, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
The last Donald Pleasance movie. I
Uh
believe he
huh.
died on set or something like that.
I
Like
think you're right. Yeah, and they had to like
shoot
fill
around him.
stuff in or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did skip over Showgirls, which I just want to make sure I
Oh yeah,
shout out
yeah.
because that's again Lindsay Core, one of my faves.
Well, that was
I love
another one of those
Showgirls.
movies that was like derided to hell and back when it came out. Everyone
Yes,
hated it, and now it's become like a camp
people love
like
it.
movie classic. Like everybody loves it, and like they
Totally.
will do screenings of it, and Elizabeth
Yeah,
Berkley like will come to them, and everyone like gives her a standing ovation and stuff like that. And it's like
yeah. She's great in it. She's
she's
so good. Yeah, I
well, and it's
love
like
it.
people don't understand, didn't especially back then, but like don't understand that tone. That kind of like
Yes.
it is kind of like it's
It's
camp. Like
campy.
it's
Yeah.
and like I
It's
don't think anybody
Verhoeven. Like, I know, it's
realized that that
wild.
was happening. People misinterpret Paul Verhoeven movies all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
If you watch,
People
yeah, I was gonna
I was
say
just gonna say,
Starship Troopers, like that
yes.
you misunderstand Starship Troopers. It is not. It is telling you how stupid these jingoistic fuckers are. Like it's
Uh-huh.
making fun of them.
Yes. It's like anti-fascist shit. And
Yeah,
yeah. I yeah, with I think people misinterpret camp a lot too. Like
very very true.
I hear that word applied to like the wrong things and not to the correct things, and so it makes the concept of it a little bit like
Yeah,
I don't know. I hear the Gen Zs love to use the word camp, but they just put it on like anything, and I'm like, no, it's like if you
yeah, it
put
is
it
a
on
very
anything,
specific thing.
then when actual camp shows up, you mock it because you don't understand it. Grumpy. This is grumpy millennial coming back
Watch
out.
the John Waters movie Polyester.
Yes.
That's and then
Watch any
that is
John Waters movie, but
that's
that
true.
one, yeah. That's camp for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can really get into that at maybe another podcast, but like
Yes.
there's an argument to be made, and I think it's not uh off base, but that there is a level of queerness that has to be involved in camp. And it's
Yeah,
not if it is devoid of queerness, it is not camp. Like just
absolutely.
at its core. And I think that is something that people just don't recognize necessarily.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think I shout out to my like best friend Angelica J. Bastian, great writer. She wrote a piece years ago for Vulture that was about how the misapplying the term camp to things like misidentifying it can actually be very like misogynistic at
Hmm.
times because it gets applied a lot of times to movies about women who are sit on the outskirts of things or have big feelings or emotions. And they're not always campy movies. Like, I think she centered it on Jackie, the Natalie Portman movie, was getting called Campbell Out. And that's actually a very, like, serious, like,
Yeah.
sad movie about, like, the grief of, like, public facing women and stuff. It's like it's not campy. It's definitely got, like, some elements of, like, extremity and stuff, but
Right.
not, or, like, whatever. Anyway, go
Yeah.
read that. It's good.
On Vulture, you say?
On Vulture, yes. I don't remember what it's called, but you'll find it. Just search
Yeah.
Angelica
Google.
Camp Vulture. Yeah, you'll find it.
We're winding down. We're almost done, folks.
Yes.
Let's see what else. I remember. I mean, all these movies. Like, I remember Assassins coming out. Not a good movie, but it was written by the Wachowskis and Brian Helgeland, who, of course, wrote L.A. Confidential and Mystic River. Directed by Richard Donner. Not a good movie. Like,
No.
so many good people involved. I mean, Stallone, whatever, but Antonio Banderas, his second big movie of the year. Julianne Moore, like, all these people are in it, and then it just isn't good, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not
but
good.
If you've ever seen that meme or that GIF, I guess, of Antonio Banderas looking really satisfied at something on the computer, that's from Assassins.
A lot of meme movies on this list. I'm
Tons.
realizing. I loved How to Make an American Quilt.
I was gonna say, like, I remember that coming out, but I did not ever see that one. I legit have never seen that movie.
It's one of those movies that it was such a trend for a while, which was, like, big groups of women, like, big, like, heartfelt kind of, like, whatever. That was a big thing in the 90s, and also an underrated Winona Ryder performance.
Yeah,
which is
holy
the whole reason
cow!
I ever saw it.
The cast of this movie,
it's
wowzers.
crazy. Yes,
Winona Ryder, Anne Bancroft, Ellen Burstyn, Kate Nelligan, Alfre Woodard, Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Claire Danes, Samantha Mathis, Lois Smith, Gene Simmons, the star from the 40s, Gene Simmons, Kate Capshaw, and then Dermot Mulroney, Rip Torn, Michael T. Williamson, Jared Leto, Adam Baldwin, like, just so many people.
Richard Jenkins is in that movie. It's insane. Yes,
that is wow. I did not realize.
I haven't seen it in forever, but that was one that, like, I would watch with my grandma too. So good movie.
The debut Noah Baumbach movie.
Yep,
Kicking and Screaming, which is not a movie I saw until much later.
Same, but it's wonderful. I think kind of a little lost to time now. It's not one of his that people, I feel like, talk about a lot.
No, but it's on Criterion.
Yeah, it is.
As is To Die For, the Gus Van Sant movie, starring
one of my all-time favorite movies. Genuinely one of my all-time favorites. Nicole Kidman's best performance, in my opinion. She's fucking awesome in this movie.
She's great.
Also, young, weird Joaquin.
Yep.
Young Casey Affleck, a little more complicated, but, like, he's good in it. It's a very, also based on a true story,
right?
Which is what makes it crazy.
Written by Buck Henry, who is a comedy writer, and I think that's another good example. And I guess Gus Van Sant directed it, but it's like I there's an element of camp in this that is undeniable.
Absolutely, this is one where there's camp.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes.
Really good movie. Jade, not a good movie.
No, I watched that for the first time recently, and it was borderline insufferable, but also awesome at parts. Like, it's one of those where it's not really fun to watch, but then when there will be something crazy and it's suddenly fun for a while. So I still recommend it.
The second Joe Esterhaus written script in a month, because he also obviously wrote Showgirls.
Yep.
That was when he was getting paid. He was getting millions per script, which no one ever gets.
No.
But that movie tanked, as did The Scarlet Letter, which hella tanked.
Yes. I don't think I ever saw that.
No. By all accounts, a very bad adaptation of that book.
Yes.
Strange Days, the Catherine Bigelow movie, fucking rips.
Rocks. I saw that again. This is probably the 10th time I'll say the
Where did you see this one?
The Music Box, but they did for the Critics Fest. They did. In fact, I think my friend Isaac Feldberg, I think he perhaps programmed this one to have it on the big screen. Awesome. It was a great crowd movie too. Like, this era of Catherine Bigelow movies, they're some of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of my favorite Ray Fiennes performances, because this is when he was still trying to do American accents, and he just kind of can't do them. He's like, "Are you ready to jack in?" It's like such a bad American accent, but I don't care.
He's very hot in this movie too. Like, that really stood out to me this time. Angela Bassett, really hot. It's great.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
in her uh, uh, like punk aesthetic, whatever period of time that was.
Yes.
Um, so October, we're in October. Get Shorty and Mallrats came out the same day.
And Now and Then, which
Oh, and
was
Now and Then.
a
That's right.
huge, I mean, I would say perhaps one of the most formative movies for me. I was obsessed with it. I watched it every single day. And I'm not kidding. I used to watch it every
Every
day.
day.
Every day. I was a rewatcher in this era of my
Sure,
life.
I was
Like,
too.
I would just get stuff, and I think I stole this one from the library. Maybe but I had definitely had it, and I don't think I bought it. But I was obsessed with it, and it's one of those movies that, as I've gotten older, because when I was a kid, none of my friends like knew of this movie. Like it was kind of just like a me thing. And as I've gotten older, all of my like best friends that I've made in adulthood, female friends, this was like one of their movies too. I was like, I think it's like a certain kind of girl like
Mm.
really latches on to this one. So yes, crazy that and Mallrats, which I feel like is kind of that for like a certain type of guy, kind of a similar thing,
Well,
at least
yeah.
from my experience. Yeah.
This was so because of Dogma being on Stars when when I was in
Mm-hmm.
high school. I became obsessed with that movie, and then the summer, was it between my junior and senior year or after my senior? I can't remember which, but I went to Blockbuster and rented all the Kevin Smith movies. Or maybe I no, you know what? I went to Media Play. Do you know what Media Play was?
No.
Media Play was like a big um they sold movies, books, and music and other shit
Okay.
too, but that was their whole thing. It's like all your media basically all in the same place.
Right. Right.
It was like a giant Sam Goody, but with books
It's kind
as
of
well.
like FYE. Remember
FYE,
FYE?
yeah.
It was like sort of the same. Yeah.
But I remember buying, well, I think I rented Clerks and then I went and bought on tape Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy. I'm like, I'm gonna love all of these.
Uh huh.
Um, and I remember hearing how much people or like critics thought Mallrats sucked, and I was just like, that's a Kevin Smith movie. And then of course I watched it and I became obsessed with Kevin Smith for that period of time that all young men are obsessed with Kevin Smith.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and that
I
period
never had
is
a
well over.
I never had a Kevin Smith phase, but many of my friends in life have. So I'm well acquainted with the mythos, and I've seen most of them. It wasn't like he wasn't one of my guys, but I
Right.
respect it.
It was those first five, like I watched those a ton. And then like when Clerks 2 came out, I was like kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't know if this is really for me anymore. So
yeah.
it was kind of just the 4-year span of me going to college, basically.
Yep.
Um,
It's when it hits.
Copycat was another of those like really dark crime movies. This one starring Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter, Dermot
Yep.
Mulroney, and Harry Connick Jr. as the evil monster man.
I've definitely seen this, but a long time
I
ago.
am almost positive, and if this is not true, then I sorry to my mother for the thing I'm about to say. I am pretty sure she said that Copycat was better than Seven. Like at the
Okay.
time, she liked Copycat more than Seven, and
Bold
she has
statement.
not been proven. Time has not proven her correct on this one. I don't even think
No,
the time proved her correct on this one. Like,
probably not, because I think Seven was fairly well regarded,
yeah,
right, at
everybody
the
really
time.
liked Seven, and
Yeah,
nobody
yeah,
liked Copycat.
yeah. Listen, I love your mom for having a take.
Sure.
Like.
Oh, and she has
uh,
takes on these things for sure.
this next run of movies, the next three in a row, were also all huge movies for me. Unfortunately, one of them is a Woody Allen movie, but I did like it when I was younger.
Sure.
Mighty Aphrodite. But Doom Generation, all timer for me. Like Greg Araki is coming back to us soon. Love him. Yeah, this is another formative one for like weirdo freaks like me, but it's so good.
I'm thinking of The Mysterious Skin. That was the one I was thinking. That's the one that has Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it, right?
Gordon-Levitt. And
Okay.
Brady Corbet, director of The Brutalist, is the
Right.
other main character in that. And Michelle Trachtenberg, R.I.P. But
R.I.P.
yeah, but Doom Generation was I would think probably the first one of his that I saw. Is it? It might even be his first movie.
I think it
Nowhere.
was maybe. Yeah, I don't remember
first? Yeah. Anyway, Doom Generation's sick, and it's also sometimes on Criterion Channel. So
I think there is a.
It's on
like,
Criterion, disc, but
I think there's a
it's
trilogy
also
of his movies.
streaming sometimes.
Leaving Las Vegas, of course, was
and Leaving Las Vegas, very good
won
movie.
Nicolas Cage an Oscar. Did Elizabeth Shue? She was nominated. Did she win for that?
I don't think so, but I think she was nominated. Let's see.
I
could be wrong, but that was
no.
definitely
She was just
big.
nominated. She did win a bunch of critics awards and the Independent Spirit Award.
Yeah, love it.
Um,
It's very sad and
yeah.
a tricky movie to watch, but it is one that is important to me, and I love it.
And then, of course, yes, Mighty Aphrodite, which,
Yeah.
whatever.
I know. I don't have anything good to say about it now, but it was a movie I enjoyed at the time.
Yeah. And another movie that was, I feel like, pretty big at the time was Powder. And that
Powder.
also has a writer-director who is incredibly, I mean, even worse than, well, I don't know, worse is not the right word, but.
Victor Salva. I would say he's worse than.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all dirtbags, but like he's an extra.
He actually
level
went to prison
dirtbag.
for it. So that's something.
Yes. His photo on Wikipedia is his mug shot, if that tells you anything.
But he also directed all the Jeepers Creepers movies, which is a bummer because the first one at least is really good.
The first one's really good. Yes, I know. Sometimes horrendous monsters do make stuff that we like, unfortunately.
Which is a theme of the 90s, I think.
It really is.
Wes Craven's Vampire in Brooklyn came out, and that is maybe, arguably, one of his worst movies. Not good.
I would say definitely, but I have seen it many times because it was like a rental one for me. But yeah.
Well, it does not feel like a Wes Craven movie. He just directed it. It was written by Charlie Murphy, among other people, and it stars Eddie Murphy. And it's, I understand why they got Wes Craven to direct it. It just does not seem like that he was the right choice to direct it. It should have been somebody who got comedy.
Yes.
I think is more accurate what it should have been.
Yes, I would agree. It also probably is one that should have had like a black director since it's largely like black cast, and I think that would have perhaps made it hit a little bit more too. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's fine.
So now we're into November. We're almost done. Fair Game. I remember coming out simply because it starred Cindy Crawford, and everyone lost their minds that Cindy Crawford was in a movie where she was like hot and making out with William Baldwin.
Yes.
Who I think we can all agree is the best Baldwin.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
I have never seen this movie, but I'm aware of it for the Cindy Crawford aspect. For sure, it was a thing.
The poster was everywhere.
Yes.
Because it's just her in like a
being
spaghetti strap tank top, and sitting on William Baldwin, who is holding a gun. Like, yes. Oh my God.
Honestly, slay.
Kind of into it.
The next one I want to talk about in here is Total Eclipse, which is another movie that I saw because I loved Leonardo DiCaprio. Very kind of like, I don't know if anyone else has seen this movie.
I have not seen this one.
It's hard to find. Like, I had to download it weirdly, but it is a movie where he plays like a young gay man who's like having an affair with David Thewlis, who is playing Arthur Rimbaud, the poet. It is I don't know if it's good, but it's one that like hangs really, like I remember it very clearly, and it's the one where like when people make the kind of one-to-one comparison with Leo and like Timothée Chalamet, I always think it feels like a movie Timothée Chalamet would have been. Like, it's got that kind of Call Me by Your Name vibes, and I'm always like, that feels like the kind of one-to-one. But it's interesting if nothing else, and a movie, like a queer movie that I think has gotten a little bit forgotten, so I recommend it.
Yeah, Agnieszka Holland, who is female good, director, and I have not seen this movie. I don't think I've ever even heard of this movie.
Yeah, I genuinely think it was like out of print or something for a while, so I don't know how available it is, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, the aforementioned second and stupider Ace Ventura movie. This was the very first movie I ever wrote a review for.
Oh wow!
When I was in 5th or 6th grade, whatever year I was, I went and saw it. I mean, it's not like I went to a press screening of it or anything like that. Because I was 11 or 12 or however old I was. But I was like, can I write a review of this movie? And my teacher was like, sure. And I wrote it, and he was like, I basically listened to a lot of movie reviews and kind of just did that with this. And I don't know where it is.
But that's your critic origin story.
That's my critic origin story, was trying to write seriously about Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
I haven't seen this movie probably since it first came out, but I did rewatch a few years ago at the Draft House when I was in Austin, did a Jim Carrey like marathon, and they played the first one. And I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the toughest. It's like, I just, it is not, it's problematic. It's not really funny. It's like, it was, but in my mind, I had like was like, I love Ace Ventura, right? And then I saw it, and I was like, I think we might be able to just clear these ones out of our
Yeah.
memory and move on. But
I feel like we definitely watched the second one more frequently.
yes, yes,
Um,
same.
it
I
is
think.
it is the zanier one. It is the kind of sillier one.
Hmm.
It's also grosser. That one was directed by Steve Odekirk, who is a stone cold weirdo.
Yes,
Uh, Made Kung Pao Enter the Fist, if you know that movie.
I
But yeah,
certainly do.
the first Ace Ventura, again, I watched a lot of times, and like, boy, does it not hold up.
No,
There was just
it's
casual transphobia in movies back then.
yeah, and this one, the whole like plot and reveal is like a really bad like transphobic joke. It's pretty stunning how bad it is. So yeah, and they don't have an excuse. That was at the around the same time that like Denise was on Twin Peaks, right? Like it's like
You're right.
we like you could, yeah, no,
Well, they
bad,
like when he finds out the twist,
yeah,
they play the Culture Club song. I know all there is to know about the Crying Game, which was the theme to the movie The Crying Game, which I just
yes,
recently watched for the very first time. That
beautiful. I
movie
love that movie.
rules.
It's
It's
so
such a good
good.
movie,
It's a
and
great movie, and
kind
again
of
shows you that you can
yeah,
tell stories about trans people that aren't
yeah.
Ace Ventura.
That movie started, and I was like, "Oh, this is like a movie."
Yes,
Like I forget how good all movies looked back then. Like
they
every movie
all
just
looked
looked
good.
incredible.
Yeah,
I miss
that
that.
one's very good.
Um, the American President was another one of those that like everybody talked about. Aaron Sorkin
Uh-huh.
wrote, Rob Reiner directed, Michael Douglas, Annette Bening. There were
I've
just
never seen it actually.
huge movies that were just rom-coms or dramas or whatever. They did not have to have any weird gimmick or anything like that. It was
Yeah,
just it was just a movie, and it made a lot of money.
yeah.
Goldeneye, of course, the first Pierce Brosnan Bond movie. Some would argue the best one. I guess maybe. I don't think any of them are all that good, but
I'm not
uh,
really into any of those ones, but this is the one I remember the most.
mhm.
So
Well, and of course, it spawned the game, which everybody loved.
yes.
Um, It Takes Two, the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie.
This was a big year. I'm realizing now. Babysitters Club Now and Then, and It Takes Two. Like it was a big one. Like they used to make movies for like young girls,
They sure
and
did.
they were actually good. And bring that back because I don't think they do that anymore. At least not like theatrical release
No,
ones. Yeah, It Takes Two was huge. I mean, this was like Olsen twins heyday. It was like they had done all their direct to video, like, whatever, like detective series and movies and stuff. But I believe this was their first like theatrical release, like Olsen twins movie. I
I
believe.
think you're right. I think
Yeah.
that is correct.
With like stars and stuff, because it's like Kirstie
Yeah.
Alley, Steve Guttenberg. I haven't seen it probably since the 90s, but I really did like it as a kid. So the fact
Um,
that Goldeneye, American President, and Casino came out on the same day, also insane.
Truly. Casino, I think, held the record for a long time for the most F-bomb drops ever in a
Yes.
movie.
Yes. I was listening to something recently that was talking about that, and it was like, what is it? It's like 80 something or
It's so
maybe even
yeah.
more.
I think
Yeah.
it's more than that. It's also a
Yeah.
long movie. It's just
It
2
is
minutes
long.
shy of 3 hours, and so there's a
Yes.
lot of room for Joe Pesci to say the F word.
Yes, there is.
It is a good movie though.
It's great. It's high on my personal Scorsese
Yeah.
rankings. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of really, and also it features LQ Jones, who is one of my favorite that guy cowboy actors.
I love
Whose
that guy.
whose real name is Justice McQueen, and he changed it to LQ Jones. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. Why would you do that?
Justice
Justice
McQueen.
McQueen.
That sounds like something that someone would name, like a millennial would name their child, right? Like
Yeah,
I feel like,
absolutely.
yeah.
This is my son Justice.
Yeah. I mean, there are like Justice Smith, right? Like there are
Yeah,
young
absolutely.
actors named that now. Yeah.
Um, Money Train. I remember coming out. It's not a good movie. Wesley
No.
Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Robert Blake, the third listed. Ooh,
Robert
pre-murder Robert
Blake.
Blake. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also really good in Lost Highway.
Lost Highway. I know. Yeah.
It's a bummer. He was a
Another
murderer.
criminal, though. Yes, there's a lot of them on this, this list.
I remember Nick of Time coming out. I never saw it. That's a Johnny Depp movie directed by John Badham. It's sort of a political thriller, I guess. Never saw it.
I have seen it because unfortunately Johnny Depp at the time was one of those guys who I went
Sure.
back and like watched all of his movies. Now I simply wish I hadn't because fuck him too. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was one for me at the time.
Yeah, I kind of can't with him anymore either. Not
Nope.
kind of. I can't. I just won't.
Yeah.
Also, Toy Story. Everyone,
Yeah.
the first Pixar movie.
The
What
first Pixar movie, a fucking great movie. Like, I still
still
think
to
this is
this
the
day.
best Pixar movie. Like, to me, unquestionably, it's still
Yeah.
the best Pixar movie. It's great. It's everything. We love Toy Story.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and we saw it a bunch of times. I had a ton of stuff about it that was like I had a poster like this. Also, I had a Jim Carrey Riddler poster in my room, so it was that, and it was Toy Story, and there was like something else that was
Hell
like,
yeah.
and it was only until I fell in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar that they
came down.
they came down because I
Did you
had
replace them with Buffy, or was it like a
with
different
Buffy.
Sarah Michelle? Okay.
No, it was
Good.
Buffy.
Good.
I printed out pictures of Buffy before I went and actually got an actual poster, and then I had to like.
I used to do that with Buffy too, obviously with like Angel and Spike,
Sure.
but I also love Buffy. Sarah Michelle Gellar rules, and I hope the Buffy reboot's good because I really need it to be.
My wife just finished watching Buffy. Like she watched it but didn't really remember much about it, so she just watched the whole thing, and now she's on to Angel, and she's like, is this a good show? And I'm like, I don't remember if it's good. I think it might be good. I think Angel might be okay.
Angel's very good. Some people prefer it to Buffy. In fact, lots of people do. So I think it's good. I do not. Buffy is my favorite show, perhaps ever. And I also just rewatched it, but I rewatch it once every like 2 years. So, and every time I do a Buffy rewatch, it's really hard for me to like integrate back into reality and watch other things because it's such a specific like tone and world that really absorbs you that like I never want to watch other stuff. I kind of always just want to restart Buffy. So I get it.
I remember like earlier on in the rewatch or the watch, Stephanie went, does Xander suck the whole time? And I'm like, actually, he gets worse.
He gets way worse. He gets worse. In fact, I think the last season where they try to make him kind of like Buffy's bestie, like he sort of becomes more her bestie than Willow in that season, and it's really weird and it sucks. And I hate Xander. So
yeah, he is bad. So I don't think I've ever seen this. Maybe I have seen it, but the movie Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, which was definitely a post Pulp Fiction kind of crime movie.
It's great. It is definitely ripping on Pulp Fiction. I saw this movie for the first time in college on the recommendation of my friend Kate Hagen, who I think she works for the Blacklist now and does film writing stuff. One of my college friends like Angelica, who kind of got into the same line of business. She recommended this movie to me when we were in college, and I love it. It's very good.
I just remember I lived in Denver when this came out, and they did shoot it in Denver, and there was a lot of like controversy that there was a movie shot in Denver called Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, and people were just like aghast that it even existed.
My older siblings live in Denver, and every time I go there and like post pictures and want to make an Instagram post, I have to struggle to not caption everything Things to Do in Denver just because it seems like a funny Instagram caption. I haven't done it. Maybe I'll do it next time.
Why not?
Do it.
I also haven't seen this movie, but it's terrible, and I wish it didn't exist. It's called White Man's Burden. Have you ever heard of this movie?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it. Isn't it where white people are the underdogs or whatever? Or like no.
It's an alternate version where black people are the majority and white people are the minority, and it's John Travolta and Harry Belafonte, and I wish that they hadn't.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yikes on bikes. The Walter Hill movie, Wild Bill, which is not good, but
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so we don't need to talk about it. Father of the Bride Part 2, which I remember making a lot of money, but it's also not good.
No.
Are you a fan of the Ang Lee Sense and Sensibility?
I am.
There's no way you're not. That's why
seminal,
I asked. Like, of course.
Another seminal movie for girls my age, I would say. And kind of like the grown-up version of like some of the stuff, like I remember this being almost like a transitional, like, oh, I love this movie. Maybe I should watch other like grown-up adaptations, whatever. But yes, it is wonderful. This is when I went back and watched because of Kate Winslet, because I love Titanic so much. So I didn't see it exactly when it came out, but like I think I saw it. I was hyped for Titanic, so I watched stuff like leading into it. So I think this was one from that era. But yes, I love it. It's wonderful. Ang Lee, quietly like one of our best like kind of working man directors in terms of like, and maybe not working man, but like he does all different genres
Oh yeah,
and is excellent at like all of them, and he's very good at costume dramas. So
yeah. And
highly
you might
recommend.
not remember that he directed it because Emma
Yeah.
Thompson wrote the screenplay and won an Oscar for that screenplay.
Yes. She's
And
very
it just feels
associated.
very Merchant Ivory-y.
It
Whether it is or
does.
not, I don't think it's Merchant Ivory,
I
but
don't think it is, but no, it
it
does.
feels like it ought to be. Um,
Yes.
and then we have Michael Mann's Heat. What is this month? This month
I
is
know.
so crazy. This is
I was about
December
to say,
'95.
we've got another like there's a wild month of like shit coming up, but
Yeah.
yes, Heat obviously. I watched Heat relatively recently for the first time, despite the fact that like one of my dear friends, Blake Howard, has a whole podcast about it that he like used to try to get me on, and I was like, I haven't seen Heat, and he was like, it's fine, watch it for the first time for this, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, I don't feel like that's correct. And then you watch Heat, and I was like, God damn it, I should have been on
I
that
know.
because it's great and I love it. And Michael Mann I've become one of those letterbox people where like Michael Mann is one of my gods now. So
I just bought the 4K of The Keep. That's how much I like Michael
okay,
Mann.
yeah. The Keep is awesome.
I love The Keep.
I think Thief is my favorite, but Heat is
Thief
right up
for
there,
sure.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also am a huge Manhunter fan. I think I would have
Me
really loved to have
too.
seen what he would have done with Silence of the Lambs. Not that Demi didn't do a good
Yes.
job. That movie's
Right.
impeccable, but
They're
I would have
great
been
in
really
different
interested to
ways.
see what he would have done.
I did correct my Heat issue with Blake because I was on his I was on his. He did a podcast about Manhunter, and I did do that one. So corrected my Michael Mann score with him. That was a really fun one to do, like a deeper read in. Manhunter rules.
And then Jumanji, the first Jumanji with Robin Williams and Kirsten Dunst and David Allen Greer and Bonnie Hunt. And boy, I loved this movie so much when it came
I
out.
loved it so much. This was another one I used to watch almost every day because
we watched this a ton.
I was a big Robin Williams was my
Yeah.
comedy guy, and he's
Yeah.
great in this.
Very
this
much, and
movie's scary. Like it's actually really scary.
Well,
so.
like the animatronic spiders and like the lion and stuff like that, they really did a good job. And then like obviously it's iconic to kids of our generation, but like the CGI like stampede of rhinos and stuff, like breaking down, like, and then all the monkeys, which looked terrible, but I don't even care.
The part like I was almost less scared by like the creature stuff and more scared by like the concept, like Robin Williams getting sucked into a game and like not getting to like growing into a man in this game. And then I was really scared when the young boy turns into a monkey. Like that really freaked me out. And it looks creepy, like he kind of slowly transitions into being a monkey. Wild movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I should watch it. Bonnie Hunt is on my mind since I've been watching Beethoven. So.
Oh, sure. I think she's really good in that movie too. By the way,
she is good. She's good in Beethoven too. She was like a little too good to be in these movies, but whatever. Get paid, girl.
So where are we up to? Oh, so the Oliver Parker adaptation of Othello. It's not a big movie, but I remember seeing that. Like, we watched this in when I was in theater school. I
think I watched it in high school when we read Othello, to be honest. I don't really remember it though.
No, I don't really remember it either. Sabrina, which was a remake of the Billy Wilder movie.
I remember the trailer for this one. I don't know if I've ever actually seen it, but
I don't remember if I think I did after I watched the original with Humphrey Bogart and William the hell's his name? William Holden.
William Holden. I almost said William H. Macy because I knew there was an H, but I knew it wasn't William H. Macy because,
he was.
I will be getting coffee right after this.
Great. I hope that's true.
Yes.
Oliver Stone's Nixon also came out like 2 days after that.
Have you seen this movie recently?
Not recently. Not recently.
It fucking rules.
I need
Nixon,
to watch it.
Shout out to Nixon. Great movie. I love Oliver Stone when he's like, doing good stuff, which isn't all the time, but when he is, true. It's good.
I do need to rewatch that though, because I've heard, from other people like yourself who recently watched it, like it really holds up, and it's another one of those that has a billion
people in it, like every 5 seconds, another that guy type.
But it was one of the biggest bombs of the year.
It was a big bomb, and I think it's a little forgotten or slept on, but I think it's really good.
Oh, it's long as shit too. 192 minutes. Oh boy.
It's very long, but you know,
And
it's good.
speaking of bombs, I can't believe this many bombs came out in the same month too, because
No,
Cutthroat Island came out, which is notoriously one of the biggest bombs of all
notoriously
time.
bad. Yep. I've
Um,
seen it and I actually liked it at the
I
time,
remember
but
watching it, but I don't remember if I don't have any memories of it really.
yeah, no.
But that thing cost almost $150 million after marketing, and it only made $16 million. So it actually made
Yeah.
less money than Nixon did, which is
Yep.
wild.
Crazy.
Dracula Dead and Loving It is possibly Mel Brooks' worst movie.
It is, but it's possibly also the one I've seen the most, weirdly,
Sure.
just because of the time it came out. So, like, unfortunately, I associate that movie heavily with him. I didn't see, Blazing Saddles and such until I was a little older. I guess maybe Young Frankenstein. Maybe that's the one I've seen the most. But
Well, that's like one of obviously the best one, possibly,
I mean,
arguably.
yeah, for sure.
So it should have been good, but I think Leslie Nielsen, wrong choice. They should have
Yes.
gotten somebody who was like serious to do it.
Yeah, I agree. He was too goofy.
Grumpier old men.
Here's the thing
Sure.
about me. I loved the grumpy old men movies when I was a kid. Why? I don't know, but I liked them both and I liked this one. And this is a sequel that I think to follow up on that conversation, have seen more than the original
I love
for
it.
whatever reason. So,
The Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Sudden Death,
yep.
which is an action movie that takes place during a hockey game.
I, I haven't seen this one in a million years, but I literally just looking at this right now, I'm like, again, I'm adding stuff to my to
It has a
watch
pure,
list.
unbridled Powers Booth villain
I was
performance.
gonna say Powers Booth is in this movie. I need to. I'm checking this one out.
So was
Perhaps.
this
Oh, I
another
love.
of your? Go ahead,
Sorry,
please.
go on. No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna move on to a different movie, but
Were you gonna move on to Tom and Huck?
I was gonna
And
ask you if
ask.
that was another of your
It certainly
hot boy movie.
was.
Yeah,
It certainly was because that was who's the main? I know Jonathan. Oh, Brad Renfro,
Brad
right?
Renfro.
Yes, I was. I wasn't really a Jonathan Taylor Thomas girl. Like I liked him fine enough, but he wasn't one of my heartthrobs. But Brad Renfro absolutely was, and this movie was like one that I've seen a million times too for whatever reason. I don't think it's good. I don't even think I thought it was good then. I think I just had a crush on Brad Renfro. So
Yeah, because it's how do you they're absolutely not playing period accurate at all. Like they are not even
no,
trying to.
no, and like even kind of the scenes that are like straight out of like the books are made very silly in this movie. But
Um,
whatever.
I never saw Waiting to Exhale, but because that just skewed old for me, and so I just never watched
Yeah,
it.
I've never seen it either.
But Forrest
I'm
Whitaker
looking at the
directed it.
cast, and I'm like, I
Yep,
would
it's huge. I
probably
think it
like
was nominated
this.
for some sort of
Yeah,
things. It was a big movie.
it
Four
was.
Rooms is that I think
It, it's not good, but I think this was like might have been the first like Tarantino product I ever saw,
mm,
like where he actually directed something, or he directed, right? Yeah, it
he
was.
directed. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember much about this movie, but it was like weirdly like kind of a thing for me,
hmm
for whatever reason.
Richard III, which is the Ian McKellen, I think
Hmm.
Nazi Germany set.
I believe
Yeah,
you're correct. I haven't
yeah.
seen this movie, but I do actually. I love Richard III, the play. So
Oh, it's not Nazi Germany. It's 1930s Great Britain, but still.
okay, it's close. That's close.
It's still
it's
fascist era, I guess.
it's all kind of the same
Yeah.
stuff percolating. So yes.
And then we have 12 Monkeys, which another problematic director, less
Uh-huh.
problematic than others perhaps, but he's said some real stupid shit lately.
Yeah.
But I think 12 Monkeys is so good.
It's very good. It is very good. I haven't seen it in a million years, but it was one that was like on the cable rotation, I feel like,
Sure.
or maybe it was on like Cinemax or something. I weirdly we got Cinemax for some reason when I was younger. I don't think we paid for it. I think it was like on accident. So maybe it was on there, but it's one I've seen parts of a lot.
This was another one my dad watched a ton. We had it on
Yeah,
tape and he watched it a lot. And he
that makes sense.
knew all of the Christopher Maloney was in this. And so like that when SVU started, he was like, "Oh, it's the guy from 12 Monkeys." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't even remember him
That's
being into that
great.
movie, but he is. But yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite Terry Gilliam movies.
Yeah.
And I remember it getting nominated for best costumes and
Oh,
like
interesting.
the weird like plastic suits. Like they had people like walk out
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
costumes and stuff like that. It was weird. Dead Men Walking won Oscars galore, I believe.
Yes. This is a movie I've weirdly seen a bunch too. I don't even
Sure.
remember how or why, but I have.
Well, it was one of the. It was just on. It was just
Yeah.
like,
A lot of these are movies that were just on TV a lot,
yeah,
which is also like as we're going through this, I'm like, I've seen so many of these movies. I've
yeah,
seen like this year, I haven't seen that many movies, but like back then I saw like everything. At
yeah.
some point, if it wasn't at the time, it was like within a few
I
years,
have seen
which
fewer
is
than 20 movies of 2025 movies. I've seen fewer
I
than that
would
by
I'd be
far, I'm sure.
surprised. I'd be surprised if I've seen more than that. It's not been a big movie year for me. I assume I'll do a lot of watching at the end of the year because that is usually when movies my speed come out more. But like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just wild how many of these I remember. And then the last one, not the last one on this list, but the last one I remember is another very not good movie. Mediocre as shit, but it was very popular, Mr. Holland's Opus, where he
yeah,
spends his entire life trying to write this not good song and he
yeah.
eventually does.
I straight up kind of loathe this movie because this was one in high school that was put on for us a lot. I
Ugh.
just yeah, it was one of those.
It's so
And
cloying, and it's also this is yet another of the movies where Richard Dreyfuss plays a shitty husband who just
yes,
abandons his wife and children. Like it's
yeah, I wonder if that was a little bit of like, you know, art representing life or whatever.
maybe,
Richard Dreyfuss has also turned into a real piece of shit. So
yeah,
he
uh,
wasn't for a long time. He was
yeah,
actually pretty cool and like radical or whatever. And then in the last few years, he turned into one of those like boomers who started to like say really dumb bad
I know.
stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's I just recently saw at the Egyptian they showed Close Encounters, which I hadn't seen in a really long time, and I
yeah.
forgot. Like I knew basically what happened in it, but I'm like, oh, he's such a bad guy in that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
he really sucks in it. He's great. Like his performance is
yeah,
great.
yeah,
He was a big crush of mine when I was younger too. Mostly for like Jaws and stuff,
sure.
but he's also like a very good actor and like
Hmm.
one of those ones where again there's not really like a one-to-one for him. Like there's not really a guy like that now, you know, but he was
No,
like the fact that he was like one of the biggest stars in the world for like 5 years or probably longer, but
yeah.
especially for like Jaws Close Encounters time, Goodbye Girl, that was all around the same
Hmm.
time. Yeah, wild.
What a year. What a year 1995
What a
was. And again,
year.
we did not talk about every single movie that came out. There were other
No.
ones that were probably ones you remember as well if you're from that period
Hmm.
of time. But like when I was just kind of going through like looking at, oh, what came out 30 years ago? So much came out
So
30 years
much.
ago.
Yeah.
And all
I
yeah.
honestly low key love this format for a podcast, which is just going through movies and being like, I remember this, and here's my context for it.
Well, if you want to come
Genuinely,
back next year when we do 1996, let's do it.
I certainly, if I remember correctly, 96 is a good movie year
Oh
too.
yeah. 96 is good as well.
And then 97 is one of the greats of all time. That's Titanic, Boogie Nights, Jackie Brown, Men in Black. It's like
Lost World.
Lost World.
Which yeah.
Not good, but I loved it.
We'll
That would,
just
yeah,
we'll tease you folks because again we're not going to do this until next year. But
yeah, yeah.
the top 10 highest grossing movies of 1996 from 10 to 1 are A Time to Kill, The Birdcage, The Nutty Professor, The Rock, The 101 Dalmatians live action movie, Ransom, Jerry Maguire, The First Mission Impossible, Twister, and Independence Day. What a year! So,
Sick.
so we will.
That the fact that like there was a time not even that long ago. I mean, I guess 30 years ago, but we're like we're like Jerry Maguire was in the top 10 movies
Yeah,
of the year is insane. Like
yeah,
we will never have that again.
and The
But
Birdcage for God's
the
sake.
Birdcage,
Like,
yeah, that was number
yeah,
2. You said?
no, that was number 9. Though I was
Oh,
reading it
oh,
backwards.
you were reading them in backwards. Okay, because I was like, that's
Twister was number 2.
got it.
That made a lot of sense. Independence Day, Twister,
Yes,
and Mission Impossible were the top 3. But
Twister was also sorry.
two Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah,
Man,
Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire. Or
what a
yeah,
year.
yeah. I Twister was big too because it was riding on the high of like Steven Spielberg. Remember he like produced a lot of those movies, so it would
Yeah.
say like produced by Steven Spielberg, so everyone would be like, "That's the shit. We got to go to that."
And I guess I should do the top 10 for 95. So all these ones that we've talked about. So from
I
10
should
to
try
1.
to guess.
We'll
Wait,
10
can
to
I
1.
guess what
Yeah,
number
go.
one was?
Please.
Is Toy Story number one?
Toy Story was number 1.
Okay, Toy Story number 1.
I guess let's go. Yeah, what do you think number 2 was?
Yeah, number 2. Oh my god, now I'm like, my brain is suddenly like, everything's going away. What else? I'm gonna feel stupid. I don't know. I don't remember. Just
Number
go.
2, Batman
Just tell me.
Forever.
Okay, yeah. Duh.
Number 3, Apollo 13. Number
Right.
4, Pocahontas, of course, was Disney
Oh, yeah.
Renaissance. Even though people didn't like it, it still made a lot of money.
No.
Number 5, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Incredible. What a day. What
Yeah.
a year. Number 6, Goldeneye. Number
Okay.
7, Jumanji. Number 8, Casper. Number 9, Seven. And number 10, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Honestly, kind of cool. Like
It's kinda
that's a
great.
That's
Yeah.
a good variety of like genre and stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that 7 was in the top 10 is pretty cool. Yeah,
Man,
great year.
what a great year.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
I just wrote down a bunch of stuff that I'm like, I need to watch or rewatch that too. So,
Yeah. Thank you, folks at home, for going through that journey with us. Hopefully that was enjoyable to you. That is the kind of that's the kind of thing I enjoy doing, is just kind of like looking at a year and being like,
Yep.
holy shit, look at this stuff.
I feel like this is the kind of thing like you and I would just do anyway,
Yeah, totally.
It's like,
Well,
let's
that's why
just
I
talk
was
about-
like, let me see what Lindsay's up to when I had this idea.
Yeah. Love it.
But yeah, Lindsay, thank you so much for coming on and just shooting the shit for 2.5 hours about this.
Oh my god, of course. Such a joy. I was having kind of a boring work day, so this is like perfect. So thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes.
How can people find your writing or your stuff on the internet if they choose to do that?
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter anymore, but I am on Blue Sky, so I usually post everything there. My handle is just my name, Lindsey Romain. I'm just got into the Critics Association here in Chicago.
Good for you.
Which means,
Nice.
Thank you. Which
Congratulations.
means I'll be stepping up some of that. So I kind of haven't been writing a ton in the last couple of years, but I've been writing more for Brightwell Dark Room. I write for Movie John a little bit now, and I also still write for Nerdist on occasion. So
Absolutely. And you can
I'll
go back
post-
and read all the trillion things you wrote for us when you were a staff writer. What was that, like
There's
4 years
so
ago, something like
much.
that? There's a lot. You
Yeah,
wrote a ton.
I wrote a lot because I did news coverage stuff in the
Yeah.
morning too. So there's a lot out there.
There's a
but
lot.
Yeah.
You can also, what's your Letterboxd? People can follow you on
Yes.
Letterboxd.
My Letterboxd is just my name also,
Cool.
Lindsey Romain.
Very good.
I am very active on there. That's like my social platform that I probably spend the most time on these days, or maybe that or
Absolutely.
Instagram. But yeah, follow me, and I will perhaps be logging some of these movies shortly once I finish Beethoven.
Well, yeah, you got to finish Beethoven.
Yes.
Yeah, you can follow me. As folks know, I am not on anything but Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd, Kyle_Anderson, where I watch not as much as I had been, but weird stuff. The most recent thing I watched was a documentary about Al Adamson, who was a terrible movie maker who got murdered.
Okay. I didn't really. Maybe I'll check that out.
Yeah. It did not make me want to watch any of his movies, but it did make me go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I guess is as good as you can hope for.
Totally.
All right. So thank you again, Lindsay, for being on the show. Thank you all for listening. I've been Kyle Anderson. Join me again next time on Laser Focus when my guest will be a different person. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Laser Focus is a production of Nerdist Industries and Legendary Digital Networks. It was produced, edited, and hosted by me, Kyle Anderson. For more, visit nerdist.com.